Only 4 of us. Aren't there 6 people in this group?
Yeah, we're waiting on Larry and Stone.
Okay. Well, I know Stone has kiddo sometimes, so.
I was worried. I was running late. I was 1 minute late. I thought I was gonna be like seamed. I was like, no.
Well,
No,
I have
again.
to make muffins after the game, so that's what I've got waiting for me at 11:30 at night. So I got to make muffins for this thing tomorrow because my boss is retiring during the busiest month of the year for our department, and rather than take my approach, which is, that's his problem. Everyone else is like, we must celebrate him every chance we get, and so we're having a secret brunch tomorrow for him. Secret brunch. Again,
What
next
kind
week,
of muffin?
I'm making cinnamon streusel muffin with cream cheese filling.
God
That
damn.
sounds tasty.
It is
I'm
tasty.
gonna make an Oreo Rice Krispie cake for tomorrow.
Very nice, very nice.
Is there...
I'm a phenomenal chef and baker.
It's true.
It's
very good.
It's,
Very good.
I mean, is it arrogant when you've tried it? I mean, it's true. You know what I mean?
I know. It's good. It's
Yeah,
really good.
like I'm
so
the
good.
first one to shit on myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there's certain things that I'm just pretty fucking good at.
I remember.
I would hope that you're the first person to shit on yourself. Cause if somebody else shit on you, that's probably just weird.
No, hey, we don't judge.
When you're taking a shit, are you technically shitting on yourself? Because it is kind of getting on you as it goes, out. You know what I'm saying?
You'll need to go too deep on this.
Yeah,
I remember
bro, phrasing.
So many years ago.
Leave it to Lex to make it super pervy. Super pervy.
Many years ago. That's the proof how good you are at cooking. We were. It was like
this was gonna be a shit story.
No,
So I'm
no,
glad
no.
it's not. Keep
Well,
going.
yeah, we dodged the bullet.
Well,
So
maybe
it was like 2 o'clock in the. Yeah, we don't know. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Barrett was like, oh yeah, everybody's hungry, right? And we're like, yeah. And he was like, don't worry, I'm gonna make Olive Garden garlic bread. And we were like, what? And he pulled out hot dog rolls and in like garlic butter from Domino's. And I don't know what the fuck they did in the kitchen, but fucking Olive Garden breadsticks came out of that fucking.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes drunk cooking is the best cooking. Or just
we were drunk. We
were drunk on Extra Life. Like,
we were drunk on Extra
Oh yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Sleep deprivation drunk.
Haley likes to watch a channel on TikTok called Baked Baking, where the guy bakes things while he's baked.
Did you guys see there was a marijuana cooking show on Netflix?
No.
Oh,
I did not.
It was pretty good. Yeah. My wife, she loved marijuana and she loved cooking shows, so it was she was the demographic for it. It was. I think it was on Netflix. I can't keep track. But my favorite streaming service, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called HBO. It's pretty cool.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you mean Max or HBO?
No.
Or HBO Max?
No. It's not Max anymore. It's called HBO.
They moved it back. They moved it fucking back.
What are you talking about? This is an innovative. This is an innovative brand pivot. This is.
Remember when it was HBO Now?
Full goddamn circle.
No. HBO Go would be, full circle. Because remember they were like, then you could watch it on the go.
Yeah, but
then they changed it to Now
because they had like a weird handshaking thing with HBO Go where they're like, "Can you go kiss your television?" And it's like, "What?" And they're like, "Well, yeah. Can you just a little tongue, like run your tongue on the TV? Then we'll show you the shows on your phone." It's like, if I'm by the TV, I'm just gonna watch HBO on the TV.
Yeah, on the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Then they changed it to Now.
Their CEO back during that time was like, this whole internet streaming thing, this isn't gonna.
That's not going anywhere.
He was super hesitant to ever commit to it, which is why they were so
Nintendo's
late in the
still
fucking
understanding what the internet is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, they were founded in like the 1800s. So.
And then the crossover, there's just Netflix making gangbusters of money.
we're just gonna have to play without these guys. Okay, we're just gonna there's 4 of you. That's enough for an adventuring party. Let's jump into this shit.
Oh shit! My session notes for last session consist of 3 bullet points. So
good. It'll be great.
Oh god damn it! Am I taking the role of tank now?
No.
It was never not yours.
I guess this is now officially
the
my
mantle in
application.
Strahd, and it just came with you.
All right, so we're going to question 427. That's near the bottom. Let's hit that page down button. We're almost there. Hope nothing happened to Larry. I didn't hear from him, but I know it's a pretty busy time for him. So, being the Heisenberg of Rhode Island or whatever. All right. This is meta questions. What would your character's theme song / favorite band / favorite genre of music be? If you had access to, do we have this one before?
I don't think so. Not for this game.
We had something similar.
Had something similar? I mean,
we had one that was like, I feel like we did have like,
it was like your favorite. It was like your
theme song.
I think it was like your favorite genre of music. So I remember Songbo saying like fucking lo-fi Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah. I think we have had this. Yeah, we have had this question before. Okay. All right, I'll roll it again.
I'm not saying we can't, but
all right. Would you rather lose your long-term memory or your short-term memory?
I know I've had that question before, but I don't think it was this game.
This is brought to you by my dog Inky. There we go.
That's
where? Yeah, when he puts his shirt on.
Yes, it becomes a human man.
All right. While you ruminate on that question, would anybody for a 3rd hero point and a 3rd hero card draw like to sum up what happened last week? Oh, I see some dice rolling. All right. We got an 18 from Songbo. Going once. Going twice. All right. Songbo, what happened last week?
All right. As I said, I have 3 bullet points. The first one is we continue to fight Thrawn and his slimes. The second one is a slime representing all of the stolen hopes of the other plant workers appears, but is defeated thanks to Jade. It also offered all of us, we could answer questions in exchange for not getting massive debuffs. And we all chose to answer those questions, and they were very prying into our backstory. Crash was very proud of himself for including role-playing within his boss fight. And then the last bullet point I have is that the portal was destroyed, and the slime curse and influence of the para-elemental plane of slime upon the remains of the Hydroforge was eliminated. And we think, fingers crossed, it will eventually fade and return to more normal. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because then we'll be able to come back here and collect floatstone, but we don't have any way to know that necessarily.
Okay. Yeah, that sums it up. Go ahead and take your 3rd hero point, your 3rd hero card draw. Would anybody like to answer the question for a D3 Vaxpiration that you can use to modify any D20 roll you make tonight? You also get to ask the same question to any willing PC or any NPC you met during an adventure, and they will receive a lesser buff. Right. What do we got here? A 2 and another 18. Dang, going once. Going twice. Alright, looks like a Songbo. Double feature. Alright, Songbo.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite one.
Alright, what's
cute. So Songbo would rather lose his short-term memory. Because all of like the various things he knows how to do are, I mean, that might, I don't know if that's considered long-term memory, but that's more of like a long-term memory sort of thing. And if he's working on something, you just wouldn't
be able to learn anything new. Like you'd never be able to level up ever again.
If he's working on something, he feels like if he loses his place, he can just sort of look at it and be like, "Oh, right, that's where I was," and continue sort of where he left off.
Gotcha.
If he has all of the background knowledge that led him to be able to get to that point.
Okay.
All right, Goldleaf.
Goldleaf, you willing to
Just
answer for a
immediately.
lesser boon?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I think Goldleaf would lose his long-term memory and keep his short-term.
Okay, he wants to level up. It's the Pathfinder guy right there.
I'm slowly making the conversion.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I feel like it's you level up and then you level up back into the same level that you are. Like if you lost your long-term memory, you're respecing the same level over and over
so that
again.
you don't feel left out. Like we let you level up, but like I set your level back before you hit the level up button. Like everyone else is actually increasing level. You're going through the motions every time, and it's neat because you get to pick new feats every time, but you never actually go any higher in level. So. Hopefully this never happens in game. Okay.
But I think they mainly because Goldleaf is, this is kind of his new persona life. May as well kind of embrace it with each new experience and each new adventure, and keep it all going.
And there's some good things that you've managed to kind of find in your new life. You know what I mean? So, friends and. A team, so that's good. I can understand that. I can understand that. All right. We don't have any. We don't have any fanspos, so we'll just skip over the hero card question and jump right in. Hopefully, you don't need any hero card buffs this time. All right, I'll take you guys down to.
Glad we had it for the boss fight, though.
Yeah, I felt like you guys did a great job on that boss fight. You had some hot dice last week. All right, go here. All right, and then. All right. Okay. So you're down in the depths, as it were, and what are you gonna do about it? You collected up the slime. Cloudhoof is carrying it. Everyone is kind of beat to shit. So do you want to take some time to heal? Do you feel like this is a place where you could risk it? Do you want to continue exploring with your current low resources and health?
One of the rooms we went through previously, in I think the last section, or maybe the section before that, was like a barracks area, right?
Area? That was like
yeah. That was in the mines. Yeah, that was in the mines, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think we completely cleared that out. I don't know how
There's also the place with the crane that we never explored.
Yeah,
that was also in the mines.
Yeah. So we could go back there, but
I think maybe we should scout out the rest of this floor, make sure nothing's gonna like ambush us. But then maybe nestle down here for a little bit.
And then I'll go ahead while everybody's kind of taking a look at the floor. I can lay on hands and refocus Goldleaf and Loritz.
Okay. And what's your heal coming at?
My computer's going really slow. Hang on. It's 1d6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just 6 hit points. I just read it wrong. I read the wrong thing.
Okay. All right, yeah. So I'll bring up the clock. All right. It says it is only 5:30 in the afternoon? Oh my god. I feel like you were exploring for a bit longer than that. But that's okay. Time is relevant.
We disembarked in the morning, and it took us a couple
Oh,
hours to
that's
get
true. That's
here,
true. Okay, okay.
right?
All right. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
do 10 minutes. And then I guess Loris will take that +6 because he's got the lowest HP. Cloudhoof said, would abstain until the others were healed because that's the kind of guy he is. The kind of guy he is. All right. All right. I will advance time another 10 minutes.
Cloudhoof has everything that you could want in a Minotaur. Noble heart, hot mom, like checks all the boxes.
Incredible.
I love how that was on the list.
Hot friends. What?
The list is 2 items long. Okay, yep, fair. 3 items long.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's always been this way, but like maybe we've returned to the original. Like Minotaurs in first edition were very scary. Like very scary. Then in second edition, they had the Minotaurs of Kryn show up. This was a bunch of just sexy like sailors, like a race of Minotaurs that loved boats, if you could imagine. And that's when the Minotaurs started their sort of ascension to like sexiness. Like, and then 4th edition, they tried to put them back in like the you worship Baphomet, you're spooky and evil, but they were like, nah, the furry movement's already happened. It's too late. And now it's very hard to find any Minotaur art that just ain't sexy AF. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, they talk about a constant, ever increasing glow up. That's the Minotaurs. Except, I guess, the World of Warcraft ones. I don't think they're. Yeah.
Whoa.
This man out here with the slander.
How dare you?
They got them Ninja Turtle hands. I don't know. Like, there's just a lot wrong with them, in my opinion. You know, the cultural appropriation of Native Americans. There's a few things, that maybe weren't great.
That's a fair point.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Nathan's also the kind of guy that think orc women are very sexy. So I mean, slightly
Because
off-putting.
they are. I will die on this hill.
Orc women are very sexy. Orc women are super, super sexy. Like, yeah. Anyways, all right.
Oh, man, you should have joined our Triumph of the Tusk campaign.
Bro, I would have. There's not enough time in the day, in the week, in my life. All right.
Because
I
you
will
think
say
hearing
that
eating
after
over the mic is bad.
after 20 minutes of healing, you guys get the sense, you get the vibe that nothing comes here in this boss room because nobody wanted to be around Thrawn. That's kind of that's kind of your take.
Both in life and conversion.
Dang.
Well, all the monsters and or denizens that we found here so far have been slimish, and so I feel like they can probably feel that connection is gone. So I don't know if it'll remain safe. Because it might be the sort of thing where they're like, oh shit, something changed, we need to check that out. Or it could be, oh shit, something's changed, we should probably stay away from whatever the fuck caused that. Who knows?
Possibly. We haven't checked on the boss in like an hour. We should go see what's happening.
I don't know, Thrawn felt micromanagery to me. Like, it'd been more like the boss hasn't checked on us in an hour? Something's up. Songbo jumps off of the pipe and then floats down with his definitely not featherfall ability.
All right, I'm gonna advance things. How's this sound, Jade and Isaac? 90 minutes. We will assume that you guys would be able to cure everybody to full health in 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
In Pathfinder 2e, if you are healed to your maximum hit point amount, you can remove all of your wounds. Also, if you receive the treat wounds, you can remove all of your wounds.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up,
What up?
dude?
Hey.
Your mom went on the same field trip as my kid today.
I know. She told
Yeah.
me. She's like, I had 4 kids, and guess which one I had?
The world is small. The world is
Yep.
small. And not just because globalization. All right. So to catch you up, we talked about a lot of things, but also did manage to play a little bit of Pathfinder. Everyone has now been healed up to full health after realizing that the boss room minus boss and evil portal is a safe place to rest. So now,
Makes sense.
what do you do?
And we have all of the components that we need now after. Or did you just say if we search this room, then we would have all of the components?
Oh, I'm saying like you've looked around this floor and like yeah, you're confident that your remaining list of items, the floatstone core, we'll check that off. The arc socket spell battery, you can get that. The mithril conduit cables, yep, they're all over the place. The floatstone gyroscopic ring. And the emergency alchemical fire suppression canisters.
Now, does that mithril conduit cable say 5E or 6A?
Don't worry, you guys have the skills to change out the ends. You should be okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, unless the IT department doesn't approve your requisition to get your own cable termination kit. Anyways.
No. Put a ticket in.
That sounded personal.
That's not even expensive.
It was 2 years ago. I'm still not over it. Anyways.
Yeah, we have a whole department. He's not in the department. Put a ticket in.
You guys don't terminate your own cables. You hire contractors to do it. I'm not going to go through 2 steps to get one fucking cable. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you guys do now? You wander around collecting the rest of your stuff?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good to me.
And we found more loot.
You see a lot of dope shit, and you're like, man, who made this map? Heroic Maps made this map. I just added these pipes in the Incarnate, but fantastic map if you ever need a spooky industrial factory type map. I did not have time or inclination to make all of these cool catwalks with their hexagonal grading into a levels map, because I was like, what if they don't even go in this section? Then I'll have spent all this time extracting the catwalks for nothing, and you didn't go in this section, so I'm really glad I didn't do that. That door is busted. Somebody shouldered it hard from the other side and kind of bent it out of alignment.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody.
What asshole did that? God.
And I don't know. It wasn't covered in the recaps, so who could say? But yeah, like as you explore, you do get the sense that there were a lot of slime creatures here, but freed from Thrawn's influence, they have scuttled away through the many cracks, crannies, and crevices that litter the tectonically disturbed factory ruins. You can see their little snail trails that they left behind as they exited. And you can also see in the walls here and there are actual little nooks, cracks, and crannies that slimes would like to use to get out of here if they're no longer compelled to stay.
So much for we are one.
Are these things here actually like emitting their own light?
Yes. They do have a sort of electric light situation going on. I mean, honestly, the technology for a light bulb is excruciatingly simple. So, it's
if it was like a thing that was glowing rather than like electricity that was making it glow, I was gonna see if I could salvage it. But if it's just an electric light, then I'll just
yeah. The people of Terranathus, much like the superior people of Alkenstar, they mastered these low end technologies that the other fantasy races were too big a cowards to engage with. That's why you guys have radio technology and light bulbs. But Terranathus was like, we should still have like human rights and social programs.
When everybody can be wizards, nobody will be.
That's where it deviated from like the Alkenstar. Like it's like they're like, I like what they're doing over there, but I kind of don't. So we're gonna stop at this point. So yeah, as you sort of look around, everything is just kind of doing its thing. I think there might be something here. Okay. Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm.
Okay, so one of the things you do discover on this floor as you are exploring, is the work journal of, some might even call it a bullet journal, of Thrawn Crimsonmaw, Hydroforge foreman. Unfortunately, the book is horribly, like, defaced and ruined by exposure to slime, but anyone who's brave enough to sort of pry the sticky pages apart looking for clues or answers is welcome to do so.
Why they gotta be sticky?
Slime.
It was a slime, man.
Like, I get it, but still,
It's not even like it's just that they're stuck together. The slime kind of broke the paper down at a molecular level, so you just got big chunks of like fused parchment now. Yeah. Anybody want to give it a go, or just kind of leave it?
Songbow looks at it, and you know how like book restorationists will have like tweezers that they'll like use to turn the pages and everything. I turn into those tweezers, and then I hop into Isaac's hand.
What a sacrifice!
I wish you had turned in the gloves. You can't hear me, which sucks. Because
do you use the
I'll use the tweezer, yeah.
But then you'd have your
bows?
hands inside him.
Oh,
jeez. This is getting bad. No matter what we do, it's bad.
So you squeeze the tweeze bows between your fingies, and you delicately pull what pages you can apart. They make horrible sounds that we won't go into too much detail about because it seems like one of you doesn't like the idea of slimy pages, but it's pretty horrible sounds, like real sticky sounds. ASMR slime fans would subscribe in an instant. Like that's how it is. All right. So recovered journal entry 27. The pressure is off the charts. I guess I should read it in Thrawn's dwarven voice when he was okay. The pressure is off the charts. Day 18, post disjunction. We weren't built for this. The pressure valves won't seal. The crystal matrix is cracking like cheap bone. And I lost my best wrench 2 days ago to a slime that swallowed it. I've got 5 engineers left. 2 are showing signs of hallucination. And Dagran won't stop talking to the pipes. Says they're whispering now. God's help us. And I think he's right. If I don't figure out how to stabilize the intake chamber tomorrow, we're either going to drown, starve, or blow sky fucking high again. Recovered journal entry number 30, the true water. Day 21, post disjunction. We found it. Not water, not exactly, but something better. Denser, alive. It pulses like a heart. And it glows like special oil. We tapped the line and it started to sing. It knows me. It knows all of us. There's clarity now. I see the flaw in the original schematics. The arrogance of assuming we could tame water like it was a beast to be led. No. This water leads. And I am ready to follow. And then recover journal entry 33. I am the gate. The date is unknown. How could I know it anymore? The others tried to stop me. Cowards. Fools. They feared the slime. But they never listened to it. It wanted peace. It wanted union. And it gave me strength. The portal's now open. Wide enough to breathe. I can feel the world beyond it. Not a plane. Not a place. A feeling. A pressure behind the skin of reality. Pushing through the wound I tore. I let it in. I let it in. I let it in. And the page ends in warped ink and sticky residue. Beneath the last line, something has scratched a spiral into the paper. It is all so damp.
So this is just a variation on the dwarves dug too deep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tale as old as time.
You wouldn't think they could dig too deep in the elemental plane of air, but
they found a way.
but dwarves found a way. They found a way.
Well, that's disturbing. Hopefully that, with him being gone, this all clears up after some time. Anywho, we got what we needed, right? For fixing up the old bird.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean we've got the, as long as the list was accurate, we've got everything from the list.
Okay.
So
Miranda says, "But do we have everything? I mean, look, there's stuff everywhere. I mean, are we in a rush? Do we really need to go? We could just stay here and just take everything. Load the whole ship up. It's not like it had anything in the cargo hold. We could spend the next few months here, like, harvesting everything, loading up the ship. And then when we get to, I don't know, wherever we're going next, we'll be rich. We could just sell them all the stuff."
I mean, she's not wrong, and it's not a terrible idea. We could
I mean,
always
this is
spend
a
a
few
little
months.
bit of extra time here salvaging more things and upgrading the ship more rather than just bringing it to where it works again.
I mean, we were able to.
Gallo says, I mean, that seems like a really great idea, but I feel like maybe we should swap out, you know. I mean, some of us could probably take over guard duty on the ship, and, you know, maybe there's people that are on the ship that wish they could have come on this very grand adventure, and, you know, then, you know, I'll make the sacrifice if it's needed to stay with the ship while someone else maybe takes my place on the future salvage mission.
We could lift up all the heavy things on the ship that we need to be repaired and then hold them there while someone else fixes them and such. But you could also carry heavy things from here to the ship.
Yeah.
All right, I think we all load up as much as we can, and then bring it all back to the ship, and then start working on the repairs.
Yeah, we should at least get the ship ready just in case we need to leave.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
get the raw materials on the ship so we can start repair work.
Although, maybe we should just repair the ship and leave. There's probably more of the guards from the Aether Blades after us. Like, we only lost them before. We didn't completely throw them off our trail, I don't think.
Well,
That's
those are
what
pretty
I
close.
was going to bring up. We're not that far off from the city. Barely a day. If they were really determined, they probably could start searching for us. If they haven't already started.
This place was lost before, though, right? Like, what's the chance that they can just also find it very quickly?
If they're lucky, maybe a day.
I think maybe we spend a little bit of extra time here. Not only making the ship operable, but maybe seeing if there's anything we can do to sort of soup it up a little bit. And then I do think, rather than staying for months and leaving rich, we probably do need to move on.
I do agree. Some of those worker bots up above, they had some useful things on them, didn't they? Could probably scavenge a couple more. See, this time we're talking about harvesting creatures a floor away from them. We're learning.
As long as we don't have to do anything with those weird goats.
I mean, we might have to if we have to move things from here back to the ship. Although it is an airship, presumably after we fix it enough to move again, we can just fly it to this facility. And then we won't have to go past the goats anymore.
I like that idea.
So, do we take what we have now to the ship and start, well, really, it's more like two smart boys start working on the ship and anyone else who can help out helps out, but do we do that now, or...
You can sing us a shanty.
Oh, that's what I was planning on doing anyway.
And Cloudhoof
song.
And Cloudhoof can hold stuff.
Yeah.
And Jade can also be there.
Okay, so you guys are gonna head out then with just the materials that you need?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably
what we need, and if there's anything...
If there's anything
like,
we find along the way,
just what we can
great.
carry on us at the moment. So, like, if there's extra loose, like, odds and ends, like there were a shit ton of those cables, and so if there's other things that are like, basically, I'm looking for their like extra equipment closet, and I just want to grab as much of that.
You're looking for spares, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, like spare parts, that kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Backups.
Remember, I don't think anyone has spacious pouch or extra dimensional holding yet.
Bro,
and
we
then
no, we know it's all basically whatever it's basically whatever Cloudhoof can carry.
Right. And then you did want to grab the robots from upstairs because you were going to try and turn their weapon systems into
weapon systems.
Weapons that you could use on the ship. Well, I mean, you don't have any weapons systems
or
yet,
just tools, because I think we also thought of it being like we can use their stuff for nail guns and stuff like that. So weapons are tools.
You know, I wonder if we could salvage some of those like clamp arms and then hook them onto the side of the ship. That way, if we ever needed to like board another ship, we could have the clamp arms like really firmly attach us rather than just sort of like throwing a rope across.
Now you're starting to think like a pirate.
Thinking about the robots upstairs, like the worker bots we were talking about.
Yeah,
with their reconfigurable arms.
And
we could just
mini slimes inside them. Gotta crack those things open. Well, shall we?
Onwards and upwards, I guess.
Lead the way.
Oh, gold leaf, worth mentioning. While you were looking around, and as at this point a couple of hours have passed, you feel positive vibes coming from the statue that you carry.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he wanted to check in with her, mm,
Mhm.
uh, of with Thrawn and his operation dismantled. Uh, if things felt like it would be better now, but yeah, it seems like that confirms that.
It's at least on the way to better. Sounds like.
Increments, baby steps.
Mm. Alrighty.
All right, gang, we're heading back up.
Oh.
Let's get it going.
All right. Do you
Wait, are
want?
you gonna try talking to the goddess?
Also, do you have her in your inventory, or is
Yeah,
she like in the? Oh, okay.
she's listed as River God Statuette
Okay,
under
got
my
it.
treasures section.
Okay. I guess yeah, that's a good question. Are you gonna try to commune with it, or are you just like feeling the vibes right now?
Walking and talking, walking and talking.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, I know I bought a new thing. Where is this thing? Ah, water skin. Yes, I did buy a new one. I'm pretty sure I had.
Okay,
I'll take a little bit of water and pour it onto the statuette as we're kind
okay.
of walking.
Of Naman, the ever winding.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Water dragon.
Okay.
Boop doo 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 doo. Water dragon.
So as you pour water on it, the statue, for the first time, I think, the first time, does move a bit. It turns its head to sort of be splashed directly with the water as you're pouring it. You hear a voice, mostly monstrous, but somewhat feminine, in your mind. And it says, let's see. What does it say? Thank you for what you did. The elements were misaligned, but now they can heal.
Perfect. Yeah, they were talking a little bit upstairs, saying like the two planes of water and earth were kind of mixed in with ooze, kind of being a third wheel to the whole thing. But yeah, no, I guess if now that nasty little portal's been closed, now it can just be a regular date.
Right. Naman says, I have regained some of my strength, but it is small. I would like to use it to free the river of this island. But if I do, I will grow dormant again. Maybe for a long time.
This island isn't connected to anything anymore. If you free the river, won't it all just flow off into the endless air?
Perhaps, but it will be free.
Well, I did agree saying that we, go to various areas of water if we can and bring you along with us. Is this something that you would like to do, knowing that you could go back to sleep for a very long time? Don't want to make you do something that you don't want to do.
I do, but I am also indebted to you. If you would prefer to keep my power for yourself, then I will hold on to what little I have and continue to grow in strength.
What do you think, gang?
I mean, I don't have any problem with freeing the water as long as I just wanted to make sure that they know that it was probably just going to fall endlessly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they know something we don't, possibly.
But yeah, if being stuck like this is, I don't know, offensive to the water, I guess, then yeah, just I guess let it go.
Okay.
Jade, Isaac, any thoughts?
Guess not. All right.
All right. Well, we are going to go free that river, if you don't mind a little bit of a nap afterwards.
All right. So you guys just beeline it through the mines, or do you try to explore a little bit before you head to the surface?
You kind of want to check out that crane.
Okay.
Green.
I feel like it'd probably be a good opportunity to do it on our way back versus leaving and then coming back to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to dismantle and rebuild that thing on our ship.
I don't know if Songbo was joking about that or not.
Having a crane on a ship is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be really nice.
It was this way.
Yep. Just be careful, there might still be stuff about.
Oh, as you guys approach, a robot comes around the corner.
Yep, found it.
It seems disoriented, and then it runs and throws itself over this cliff.
No, you have so much to live for.
No, you have so much to salvage. Ooh, 2 cranes.
You see another robot across the way. It sort of walks around listlessly. You hear a banging from inside the robot.
Quick, Cloudhoof, throw me across the thing. We need to subdue it. Before it yeets itself into the ravine.
Hey, Goobot, want a job?
It just sort of stumbles about, disoriented.
Really want me to throw you?
I don't want this thing to yeet itself into the ravine. Or we take the long way and try and find another way to get to the other side, but by then it's probably going to yeet itself into the ravine. You got these 2 cranes.
You could try acrobatics and then athletics jump across. Pretty hype.
Or he could
I
just
mean,
throw me
also
like a
we could
paper
try to
airplane.
lower ourselves using the cranes down to the bottom of the pit and see if we can scavenge the other one.
So these things they're running slime monsters inside of them.
Yeah.
But were they running things before the slime monsters?
I don't know, but the general vibe is that the slime inside the robot is trying to get out.
Either that, or it's just lost its mind since the portal closed, or maybe since Thrawn was sort of a part of all of them, and now Thrawn's not here anymore. Maybe they don't really think anymore. I don't know.
They're just kind of tethering their consciousness together. Possibly.
Well, we need parts, so I'm gonna go find a way around.
Jade follows Goldleaf.
I want to look over the ledge. How deep does it look like this pit is?
Oh, it goes down and down and down because you have no limit on dark vision. If anyone with dark vision looks down, you will eventually see a lake of slime.
Oh yeah, now that guy's gone.
Yeah, that's a lake of slime down there. It's Oh, is this where the source of the river?
I don't know, like the well that it comes from, maybe.
Where'd that son
Well,
of a
there
gun
was
go?
there was a the river was fed from a spring / reservoir in the mountain.
I didn't know if this was considered in the mountain or not.
Ooh, all right. So looking at these cranes, you think that they could be repurposed into cradle hook harnesses. These would use a cradle hook harness is a level 1 utility augment for an airship. It is for the engineer job. It is mechanical, grapple, pulley, and common. You've rigged an ancient crane arm to the hull of your ship as a retractable tether system. It can be used for a 2-Pac-Man action called Reel and Rip. Activate the harness to launch a hook at a nearby or object or structure within 3 hexes. A hex is roughly 150-ish feet. So that's pretty fucking far. You would then make a crafting check versus a static DC, unless it was an object that was being piloted or something like that. But basically, you can use it to harpoon things onto your ship.
Oh, that's awesome.
If it's the size of your ship or smaller, you can slowly reel it in. If it's much smaller than your ship, you can just pull it back in. If it is bigger than your ship, you pull your ship towards the thing. On a critical success, you may create a swinging effect, repositioning 1 hex, which is kind of cool. Okay. Such a thing would be very skiff or sloop friendly. It can be augmented into a higher level version, which can do more things.
I get to salvaging.
Okay. So you guys are going to salvage these 2 cranes?
Hell yeah.
It is the equivalent of like 8:36 at night. You guys have been traveling since 5:30 in the morning, I think. So you will probably want to rest soon so that you don't get fatigued. The question is, do you want to rest here, back downstairs? You want to head back to the ship and then come back to get the stuff?
We're in the mines area now. We could go to the little barracks.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
might attack us.
as you guys, Isaac and Songbo are looking at the one crane, you start thinking one crane pretty good. What about two crane? You could make the twin claw docking rig, which is the level 3 augment that would use up 2 augmentation slots. But basically these get attached to your ship's underbelly. And I don't know if you've seen Outlaw Star, you know what I'm saying, but you basically are putting grappler arms on your
shit.
The Ursus claws.
Shit.
I love the idea that we're eventually just gonna make a flying mech, like a Gundam.
So basically, you can grab and lock for 2 actions during combat. Target a ship, large object, or structure within 3 hexes. You make a crafting check against the target's AC or fort DC, DM's discretion. So on a success, you snag them. On a critical success, you grapple them. And then you can also do the counter swing, and it does all the things that the level 1 version does as well, which is pretty cool. To give you a point of reference, you guys have a Corsair frame on your ship, and your ship is level 3. So that would mean it has 7 slots that you can put things on. But keep in mind that the slots are for everything. So that includes like armor plating, engine upgrades, all that jazz.
I feel like I really want them. That's just me, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so this will take several hours per crane. I won't require a check to get them, but just the investment of time. But again, that do mean that you're gonna probably want to rest before you do it, because fatigue means you can't do exploration actions, and salvaging is an exploration action. So you essentially would be locking yourselves out of what you're trying to do.
Okay. All right, let's all go regroup a little bit,
Okay.
and then I think we come back and we
The
definitely
barracks
salvage both
was
of these.
here, but it had big haunted vibes.
Oh, that was the barracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
On our way back to the ship, we should probably see if, and I know it probably not the greatest, but we should probably see if we can find any food anywhere, considering we do not have much on the ship.
You guys don't have
We
much
may
food
need to
on
hunt
this ship?
goats.
Did we? I thought we didn't have a lot of food on the ship.
This is coming from the dude who doesn't eat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought you might be in danger, though, if you ran out of water, though, right?
No, it's sunlight. I just need sunlight.
Oh, okay.
And this place has been cloudy, right?
Yes.
Is there still peaks of sun coming through, or is it just completely overcast?
This particular hex is pretty cloudy in general.
Okay. Well, I can go 7 days
Pretty
without
damp.
it before
Yeah.
things get bad. So we haven't even spent a day here. You can very much put me down as against the plan of staying here for several months.
I don't want to stay for several months. I think we're gonna get murdered if we do that.
Well, anywho, I don't know where that stupid thing went. I want to keep looking for it.
That's how I want our ship to work eventually.
So the
Honestly, pretty badass.
give me a hidden survival for tracking, essentially.
Oh, boo.
Oh, also, you have some good augmentation options from the clockworks that you did manage to kill, which was like, what, 2 or 3 of them? 2 of them, I think?
We killed 2.
Yeah. Okay, so, all of these are, have the gun boss trait, meaning they unlock abilities for the gun boss to use. That's a crew position, during combat. So you've got the Nailstorm Blaster, which is pretty good. You've got the Buzzsaw Launcher. You got the Anchor Reel Harpoon. But then again, if you're building that other thing, you might not need the Anchor Reel Harpoon. The Pneumatic Hammer Arm. The Industrial Chisel Cannon. Or the Arc-Bound Feedback Nail Gun. Which is, yeah, they're all pretty cool. They're all pretty cool. So you definitely have some options here for getting some siege weapons scavenged off of those guys. Cloudhoof, you follow the trail left by the robot. It seems like it tried to walk across these mine tracks and tumbled over the side.
Son of a bitch.
Your dark vision shows the reservoir of slime down below.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
I'll help carry what I can, and then I'm gonna go while they're actually building.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hunt for like wildlife and stuff here. I know it's all ooze based, but it's my first time getting to like nature that's not the island.
Okay, I posted into chat the sort of summary of what ship weapons you could build off of the robot parts. DT is damage threshold, so all airships ignore damage that isn't at a certain point, just like the pillars you guys had to beat up and the doors you were smashing. And each of the robots could provide you with one of these weapons. So I'll get you guys these guys to take back to the ship with you. Again, are we looking for a place to camp, or are we heading back to the ship? Oh, you are looking for a place to camp? Okay.
Yeah, I think rather than going all the way back to the ship and then coming all the way back here.
Okay. We should just go to the boss chamber again.
You guys just head back down to the boss chamber?
I think that's the safest spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. So, you guys settle in for some dungeon camping. The slime vibes definitely lift. The haunting vibes lessen, for sure. But the creepiness of this place persists. While you guys settle in to rest for the night, is there anything that you want to do as far as like interacting with each other or NPCs, or have you had a pretty full day and you're ready to call it?
A UI pop up that says Kingmaker Camping.
No. Only once a week for me. Sorry, I'm full. I'm full.
I think to keep up with the creep vibes, Goldleaf is gonna tell a spooky story.
Oh, okay.
Campfire story, so to speak.
All right. Telling a spooky campfire story. All right. Heard. Okay. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Form. dirty.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So as you give this performance to everybody, they are, at least the NPCs, captivated by your storytelling skills and the spooky tale. Is all. Oh, you roll a 19. Oh, that's fantastic. They are all taken in by the tale. Do you want to
Jade
use
is
this to your
terrified
advantage in
of
some way?
scary stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she will reach out to whoever's hand is closest, and since there's so many people next to her, you can
Kalos,
determine
who
Oh, okay.
is afraid of most things. He unceremoniously and perhaps shamefully kind of pulls you close. You are so small to him that it is like you are a teddy bear.
That's adorable. Jade turns bright red.
I try to give a wink to Jay,
Okay.
but I just cover up one of my eye holes.
All right.
It's not like I planned this one.
Silver Eye says, "Is this story true?"
I mean, and for just clarification purposes, this is probably like a Spirit Smashers 1 that I played a long time ago at Terran Athens.
Okay. Spirit Smashers 1. All right.
The premise of Spirit Smashers 1, but removing all the copyright stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you didn't sing the song, because they will come after you. They will come after you.
No.
All right.
They
Went after Bruno Mars. They'll go after you. All right.
Doesn't fuck with that.
Okay.
Is this story true? I mean, every story has some modicum of truth to it. Also, we live in a world of arcane wonders and supernatural occurrences. Not that far off of a stretch.
Good. We have some brilliant minds among us. They might be able to make us some of these, what were they called? Protos packs?
Protos
I could only
packs,
assume
spirit
that
snatchers, things of that nature.
the situation with the returns, it could get ugly. If we have a bunch of errant spirits looking for host, having the means to deal with them could be beneficial.
Whoa. Hopefully we're not getting ideas here. Not every return is just gonna be snatching bodies here and there.
Well, I mean, no offense, but you all snatched a body, or at least made a body. That implies that your spirit was sort of looking for one.
Or the latter, but okay.
Jade gets kind of offended by that comment and wanders off by herself.
Oh, dang. Okay. Kalos looks around. He's very scared, and his security buddy has left him. Cloudhoof, you feel his hand grab your hand.
It's all right, man.
All right. Miranda says, yeah, but there hasn't been any evidence of any of the return being, of malicious intent, and no return has ever taken a body that wasn't, or that was still in use. Silvara nods and says, "Yet."
There's still quite a bit we don't know about the phenomenon. That much I will give you. However,
yes,
we're not, as Miranda put it quite well, it's not like the spirits are just snatching bodies off the street and replacing them.
Well, don't get the wrong idea, though. There are bad returns. I mean, I've had to deal with, like, killers that, came back after they were executed to try to get revenge on the officers who arrested them, and even continued their killing sprees. Like, a soul is a soul. Some are dark, some are light, and their will is their own. Just because the return that we are fortunate enough to find ourselves with are the best of us, doesn't mean that they all are.
When you say that they came back for revenge, do you think that they had died with so much want for revenge in their heart that that's why they returned? Or do you think that they're the kind of person that after they returned were like, well, I might as well get revenge now because I'm back?
Ooh, I'm not really a scholar, but I would probably go with the second one because the first one's very spooky. That's like what do they call those ones? Remembrance, you know, the ones that they got killed in a really bad way, so they come back to get revenge. The remembrance.
Revenant.
That doesn't sound quite. Yeah, that sounds more like it.
Yeah, I hope I don't die in a way that I come back as a remembrant, because I mean, when
I mean,
Pharasma
I think
takes
you
me,
have to want it.
I don't know. Does anyone want vengeance?
Yeah, I mean,
And then
lots of
yeah,
people.
and then Sylvar says yes.
So Jade walks back over to the group and looking at Salvara goes, "Do you think I wanted to come back? To be how I am? To not be in my normal human body? To not be able to spend time with my family the way that I remember them? Do you think I wanted any of this? It's
No,
not it's not fair to lump returned into this group of thing that say that we take something that's not ours. I didn't want to be like I am now in the first place."
okay, well, here's the thing. Miranda, you said that they don't take a body that's not in use, but that's not the case with animals. So what happens to the soul of the animal or the plant when a stronger soul decides it needs the body? And then she turns to you, Isaac, and says, "You're the professor. What do you think?"
I'm gonna recall knowledge, see if there's any like
Oh, yeah,
details of
sure.
this.
This is a hotly debated and politically and religiously charged topic, aka not one a teacher of your caliber would really want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Well, you know, there are some things in this world that remain unknown.
She
Or
rolls her
you could
one remaining
simply
eye.
ask the person that it's happening to.
Yeah,
If you really want to know, I could tell you that it feels like both of the souls are in this one body, but one is just much stronger than the other. Do you think that me enjoying sleeping outside in underneath the moon in the fresh air is something that I would just normally do as a human? No. It's the fox body that I've taken over. I didn't
So the
take this.
fox's spirit is still in there with you.
That's what it feels like to me.
What about you, Goldleaf? You feel the spirits of the plants that you co-opted into your body? Or did you squash them?
I'll respectfully decline to answer the question as I am still figuring things out for myself.
What about you, Loritz? Do you
I mean,
do you feel the soul of the gargoyle?
I'm sorry, Larry. I'm gonna try my best. Loritz looks at you and says, "I do feel the soul of the gargoyle because it is me."
Well,
Did
that's
you
very
think I
good.
was also a returned?
Yeah, I thought you took over like one of those statues.
Ah,
Does that
that
make you
is
a
actually
return?
very interesting.
You were once a smart professor, but came back in the body of an idiot?
I was never intelligent.
There are some chuckles, but Miranda seems ashamed that she would laugh at such a mean thing, so she hides her face.
What about you, Songbo? How do you feel about that?
I'm also not a return.
Well,
I'm
we're not
I'm
done yet.
Tanuki.
You're not returned?
Okay, so are we really having to put it out there? I am also not a return, says Samuel. I am a human man.
What about these robots?
No, those were slimes. God damn.
And gravel?
Gravel looks around. I'm so confused.
I'm just gonna.
Gravel is a slime rock? I don't.
He's an
actually
elemental
know.
being.
What about your eye patch?
My eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with you? Have
Nothing.
you been eating slime? Did you try to
She,
drink
like,
the slime?
She stares into your eyes. Have you been abusing substances in the middle of this dungeon? While our
Of course.
lives are at stake? You're the healer.
They do call me Dr. Feelgood.
Who calls you that?
Hey, look, we're
You know,
just standing around asking questions.
That Seraphim woman had a lot of strong words to share about you when I was asking. I'm starting to think they might all be true.
Look, here, look, I put it on the table. There's my addiction suppressant.
Oh my god.
It's all the addiction suppressant without any of the fun.
See, you is trying so hard to be asleep and not a part of this conversation.
I've always thought that it seemed like the returned had their souls sucked into things by some external force. I've never thought that they wanted it themselves or that they took it themselves. I have always viewed it as it was sort of forced upon them.
I can see that because
Songbo has a lot of wisdom. It does feel as if this is something that was gifted upon me. I didn't ask to come back. I never hoped to come back. It just happened. And now it feels as if I need to live to the will of another being to accomplish some sort of goal or task. I just feel like my human body's out there somewhere and I can make it back. Otherwise, why would I be how I am right now?
have you ever thought maybe that
Wait,
the
you think your human body is what, stolen?
It may be. Even if it's not, it's something that I can hope
don't
for.
the people of Tian Sha just bury their dead? Wouldn't your body be in the ground? Or a mausoleum, I suppose?
After my accident, it was never found.
Whoa.
Her
Her eye goes wide.
What about you, Goldleaf? I mean, was your body buried, or was it also lost?
As far as I know, my body was also lost. Though, even if they did find it, it probably wouldn't be in a good state anyway, to be honest.
The other question is,
like Isaac's body is not in a good state, or like Thrawn's body is now not in a good state.
He looks down at his Wendy's dad bod. Look, this is the best shape I've been in years.
Okay, well, while we're having a delicate conversation, I'm just gonna put it out there, and you guys have probably heard this before, and I want you to know that what I'm about to say.
I swear to God, if you say something super racist now,
the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, talented human prefix what he's about to say. I swear it's not racist, but I just want to know if the people of Tian Sha believe in reincarnation. Isn't that kind of what the returned stuff is? I mean, it's the people of the Taldan, race that are really put off by this, and the elves and the dwarves, because we're supposed to go to Pharasma and be sent to heaven and stuff. We didn't sign up to just keep living the same lives over and over again.
They're not exactly like I wouldn't call this reincarnation. Like they're still them.
Goldleaf and Jade, like you both know about what you were before you returned, right?
Yes, reincarnation is a rebirth of the soul, not a removal or a replacement of the soul.
Oh.
I'm still who I was. I wasn't reborn into this fox body. I was displaced.
From
Have you ever
my
thought that maybe the
understanding,
creature?
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're fine.
The way
I
I
was just
see
trying
it
to
is,
ask.
oh.
All right, you go. Yeah.
The way I see it is reincarnation is more of hitting the factory reset on the soul and then just stuffing it into a new body. Maybe
Yeah,
with
it's
clean
Samuel
things.
seems legitimately fascinated, and you get the sense that he has never been in a situation where he ever felt like he could comfortably ask these questions,
So,
but that he's carried them for many years.
But now
one
that
thing
he
I've always
knows,
wondered.
but now that he knows to
Yeah.
repair people, he can start asking all sorts of questions.
Could it have been possible that the creatures that you now inhabit, their bodies called for your soul?
Oh, like they wanted it.
Like,
Oh, I hadn't considered that.
because if you think about it, I mean, you both are more powerful now than you were before.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and the
Wait, you
bodies
mean
you
like the
inhabit.
fox was like, oh man, it'd be so cool if I was a human, and like,
Well, you don't know if they were in a weakened state, or like we don't know the life of the fox or the plant. Like before, we know more about jade and gold leaf history
well,
than we
back
do
in
of the creatures they
Galarian,
inhabit.
they have these things called leshies, and that's where these nature spirits get curious about the mortal world, and then they build themselves little bodies out of plants, and they're saying that the returned are sort of mimicking um that same sort of phenomenon here, but they're saying that there's no real leshies in Terranathus because they are too disconnected from the world of Galarian, which is where those spirits normally come from.
Oh, there's still actual leshies. They came with the transportation, but some of the
Oh, but
newer
no
ones
new
are a little
leshies
bit
have been found.
correct. Some of the ones outside of the established communities are a little bit different in their make, so to speak.
I mean, technically, you wouldn't be
Is it
considered a
true
leshy.
then that some of the leshies are just elemental air spirits that were curious about the mortal world and they made bodies for themselves?
And then some of them got translocated back to the air.
Yeah.
They
Talk
must be
about
so mad.
a sit pull.
Well, no, I mean the ones that have been created here that are not returned.
Your guess is as
No,
good as
yes, yeah,
mine.
but Goldie, would you be considered a lessee, or would you, I mean, technically you're just a returned, right? At that point, like you would, like just like Jade, would you be considered a kitsune, or would you be considered just like a fox that is returned? Does that make sense? Like, am I making sense?
No, you're making
I
sense.
think
read
I
this
get
thing
what
a
you're
while
saying.
ago.
I think the origin is different, so I think maybe they're considered separate, even if
returned.
they're
Right, yeah.
similar.
Right.
Jade, this is definitely something that you would have thought about. Kitsune are exceedingly rare. They're like, like Asimar rare, like in
Also, like every third player character.
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah, pretty much,
yeah.
yeah.
What I meant is they're, lore wise, they're very, very rare, and they have all sorts of innate magical powers and stuff. And as a person from Tiansha, like you know that they are sort of these otherworldly, like like highly magical beings. You definitely don't think that you're on that level. You know what I mean? That you're that kind of creature. Like that you could kind of feel like what this body was before and what you were before, and it's something new and different and unique.
So this is like more of a meta question because I feel like we would know it.
Mm.
It's not every person that dies
Oh no!
comes back
It's
as a
definitely
return.
not. But it is more frequent. It was very rare initially, but it's becoming a problem. Is how the university feels about it.
I guess we're listed as a problem now. I gotta love it.
That's the university for you. Though in that research with the university, was there anything that like was there any cases where like they still had their like their human body when they
There
returned?
have been instances where return just come back to the same body they had before.
Hmm.
And that's actually the most common
Hmm.
returned are just people that got back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then
Do
they sort of look like dead people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones that inhabit the same body, the body is always like it decays a lot. Like for some reason, a soul
They're
taking
dead.
on a different body does a lot better. But generally, any return that takes a dead body is, like the body is gonna slowly rot and decay. Whereas some returned have come back as plants, animals,
The
that
Warforged,
are
doesn't
they're still alive. Yeah, and like clockworks, they've like inhabited like clockworks as well.
I feel like the clockworks is the most ethical. If you know what I mean, if it really is
Oh,
like
for
a
sure. Yeah, but when questioned, none of the return remember
yeah, they didn't
choosing the
choose
body.
them.
Yeah, that they just sort of were conscious again in their body or in their new body. And they don't seem to have any recollection of the time that took place between dying and coming back.
Maybe we're just starting to become more acclimated to the plane of air.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe like it's one of those things where like you kill an air elemental and it returns back to its home plane. Perhaps we are in our like this has become our home plane.
All I wanted to do was just tell a spooky story, and now we're talking about philosophical questions. Ah, great
The
night.
spookiest stories of all.
Man,
Samuel says,
so
"I really appreciate this like intellectual safe space. You might not realize this, but it's kind of considered a negative trait among the Aether Guard to pursue intellectual things and ask a lot of questions."
No, that's not surprising.
Really?
Not at
Well,
Yeah.
all.
you're a
yeah,
pirate now, so enjoy the freedom.
Is this what pirates do? You just philosophize all day? I mean, I kind of thought
usually
there'd
it's
be
rob
more
people.
pillaging, yeah, plundering.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that not happening.
I
We
think
can.
it's sort of both a lot of times. Like, right? Like, you hear about the famous pirates and you're like, they wanted an equal society for everyone, and also they murdered a bunch of people. So I
I
think
thought
maybe the two don't have to be exclusive.
I
I
think they
think
just wanted an equal society so they could murder people.
it's more
Well,
of they have the.
I only have like 30 people that I want to murder. So, unless it's one of those 30 people, I will
Yeah,
not
like
be
a
murdering.
specific people or like a group.
Yeah, yeah, I have it's alphabetized list.
Oh,
Nice.
is anyone here on the list?
She looks away. That's
Okay.
classified.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your
I just look.
character quest? Murdering these 30 people?
I never thought about it. I guess it could be. It's not as interesting as creating a new school of magic based on paint, though. That's my
Oh yeah,
real
that is
quest.
really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a guy in Yu Yu Hakusho who already did that.
But not the way I'm going to do it.
Oh,
He assumes that Yu Yu Hashika is one of the countries in Tian Sha.
mm.
So,
Nice, nice. Also, I feel like Dusk Whisper leans over to Miranda, is like, "What's that list? Can I see it? Let me help. Let me help you out there. I could use some warm ups."
all right. You guys settle into sleep then?
Yeah.
Your brain's cooked on philosophy and religion. All right. I do actually think there are enough abilities in PF2E that you could make a Paintomancer already.
Probably.
But she wants to make like a. I mean, she just wants to be Realm from Final Fantasy VI. If I'm being honest, that's what she.
It doesn't have like a little character art in a book, right?
Right.
That's what you need. I'm just not those out there. I love you, Songbo. I love the fact that you're like, Billy Bong. He dies, he comes back as a return as himself. So now he's just a zombie fucking version of Billy Bong.
All right. You guys spend the day harvesting the cranes. Is that the play?
Hell yeah.
All right, so that'll be 4 hours, and then harvesting these robots. That'll be another 2 hours.
Is that
I thought we harvested.
like how many people can be harvesting a crane at a time? Like, can we split into 2 teams?
Well, I
like
mean,
Longbow leading one.
you harvested the robots already, but now you're basically terraforming them to make siege weapons for your ship. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we ripped out a couple parts before, and now we're like
Right.
taking the whole thing.
Okay. Then that's like 6 hours. The first 6 hours of your day is gathering up all these parts and figure out a way to transport them back to the ship. You feel like you just can't bring anything else with you. Like you've built like a little sled that you're dragging all the stuff on, but you're kind of maxed out at this point.
Modified one of the mine carts to also have some treads.
Oh yeah. So is the intention then to use those last 2 hours to get back to the ship?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
In a non-goat in the path fashion.
Oh, I guess I should also ask, do you take the statue of the river god to the frozen river and let her do her thing, or do you not want to do that until you can use the dry riverbed as a safe way to get back to the ship? Is that
Or we
sense?
could be super cool and we could stand like on the edge of the river and then have her free it and like surf our way back to the ship.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like that would actually result in a lot of us falling into the water and then getting swept over the side. We'd look really cool.
A raft is a lot different than a sled. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. All right, let me change the music out. All right. So you guys reach the surface. There is no sun or moon in the elemental plane of air, at least not that you guys know of. So it is all lit exactly the same as when you left. So Pacific Northwest, foggy day. All right. You feel the pull from statuettes. You bring Naman over to the river.
So are we really doing this whole raft situation? I feel like that may be a bit
No, it's really a bad idea.
Okay, so you
think
guys
of how much time it would save.
It's safe, but also we could lose all our stuff to the rushing waters.
Now you could get back to the ship without the dry riverbed, but it's definitely the fastest and least goat-laden route. So
I mean,
do you promise them you'll come back, or
they're just goats?
Oh, right? I suppose we should just let her free the river now, and then go back along the shore.
Rather than... would be over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then yeah.
All right. The statue begins to glow and move. And you see droplets of condensation kind of form on the statue. The yellow opal stones that are the eyes begin to glow, and you feel compelled to place her against the frozen river.
Let's see. This is like what, 15 feet up where I am? Is there a place that's actually touching
Oh
the
no,
river?
yeah, this is where you could just reach down and touch it.
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
Remember, this is like a little waterfall, and it goes
yeah,
down
it goes
there. That's
down
why.
like steps. All
Yep,
right.
yep.
Yeah. Then I'll take the statuette and kind of lower it down, lying on my belly.
As she finally touches it from the smallest point of impact, you see the light in her eyes grow brighter, then dims, and then you see hairline cracks of glowing yellow light spread through the membrane that has contained the putrefied, slimy river. You watch as that light spiderwebs in all directions across all of the frozen water, and then begins to suffuse the slimy water beneath, purifying it. The process takes about 5 minutes, and then the golden light fades. There is a rumbling sound. The membrane shatters, and the river begins to flow. The ancient water wheels, dormant for so long, begin to churn. And all around you hear the sounds of the Hydroforge waking up. Maybe for the last time. You watch as the water flows away and out of sight. Wheels turn and turn and then sputter to a stop, and you hear all the sounds of light and industry. Silence once more. She whispers to you, "It is free."
Good job. You can rest well now.
That was beautiful. But now the riverbed's dry again.
Well, more like muddy, but
I think I'd
dry-ish.
take mud over creepy goats.
Then the camera cuts to another adventuring party flying around in the airship, and they're like, "This is fucking rad, guys!" And then like a river hits their ship, and it just says "Game over." And now later, you'll know why that's a random encounter.
It's just
Revenge.
the eternally falling water from this.
I thought it would be the
I'm
rival
sure
airship
it would get
seeking revenge.
dispersed by a weather phenomenon at some point, or absorbed into one. All right, if that's it, you guys can head back to the ship. You sense no life, no power from the statue, but you do feel like your influence has increased significantly with it.
I'll just
Nice.
give it pats.
It was
and
a
say,
it was a
"Sleep
bad
well."
situation, because if you told her no, your influence would have gone down, but her power would have gone up. But you wouldn't have had access to her power because you would have tanked your influence. But now you've raised your influence, but she doesn't have any power to offer you. But
It's-
now, when she comes back online, she'll remember how nice you were. Playing the long game.
I just see the pop up. The mom will remember this. Top right corner.
Okay. So I'll just take you guys back to the dashboard. Ish. Oh, no. There we go.
That raccoon artist songbow is getting me.
All right. So when you guys get back, you realize right away things are not good. There is smoke rising from the ship that you see in the horizon before you actually see the ship, and then you confirm that yes, the smoke is coming from the ship. You smell burning. You smell blood.
Oh shit! Goalie starts running.
Oh, okay. All right. God, I feel so bad because you said Goldie start running, and then I thought about one of my favorite movies of all time, Willow, and how cute all the little people look when they're running. And I was just like, in your little boots. Oh man. Okay, so you start running in your little boots. All right. When it comes into view, you do not see any of the crew that you left behind. But you do see signs of a battle. You can see impact craters from cannons that were possibly used, and the signs of spells that scorched, froze, and burned the ship and the land it was tethered to.
Longbow just looks over at Kalos like, you still wish you stayed with the ship?
Kalos has a guilty look on his face because he's actually very relieved he didn't stay with the ship. And you see that this is the Songbow and Isaac reaction. You see that anything that was still functional on the ship has been taken.
Seraphine? Captain Reese?
Do you board the ship?
Yeah.
I won't take you over to the map just yet. As you board the ship, you see more evidence that, yeah, it was attacked. You can give me a recall knowledge and a perception. Anybody can throw perceptions and recall knowledges into chat if they would like.
Oscar?
Just a one or the other?
No, you can do both. Once everybody is done, I will work my way through these because some of you have a lot of skills, so they're pretty beef.
On the bright side, there wasn't a lot functional. So.
Yeah, joke's on them if they thought they were going to get a lot of good stuff from our airship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they even took Seraphine.
Starting at the top, Isaac, you know who did this.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Aether Guard.
Mm. I'm gonna say that out loud. There's somebody.
All right, Jade, you don't know who did this, so maybe Isaac's right. Songbow, you aren't 100% sure who did this, but it's maybe 50-50 pirates or Aether Guard. You're not sure.
It could have been pirates, Isaac.
Goldleaf. You don't think it was the Aether Guard because they would have towed the hull with them because Terranathus is right there, and they wouldn't have wasted these resources. They would have seized them for the city government. So you think it was pirates.
Yeah, I'm kind of believing Songbo on this one. I'm pretty sure if it was the Aether Guard, they would have repossessed the whole thing and then probably just use it for scraps. Or repurpose it for something.
Cloudhoof, you initially thought it was some dope-ass air elemental monster, like the aforementioned cloud dragon, or something like that, but you don't think a cloud dragon would have essentially taken the tires off your jalopy, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's weird, that's its weird hoarding thing, you know, like every dragon's got like a weird thing they like to hoard, like maybe they like to take shitty airship parts and people, but yeah, it's probably not that. That was your best theory. As you guys are also looking around, Jade, you're the first to see. And then Goldleaf, you also see something. So Jade, you see that there is a body left behind. 2 bodies, in fact. You see the corpse of Captain Reese and Billy Bong. Who do you go to since you got the highest perception? Or do you just stand back and you're like, oh well?
I definitely go to Captain Reese.
Okay.
But
right,
I feel
okay.
in my heart that I know that Songbo is going to be upset once he sees this.
Okay, fair enough. Goldleaf, you had the second highest perception. You see Captain Reese, who Jade is already rushing to his body, but you also see the broken, lifeless form of Billy Bong. Who do you go to, if any?
Captain Reese.
Goddamn. Okay.
I'm sorry. You really have that much connection with Billy Bong.
Cloudhoof, you see both of these people, but only after those 2 have acted. Do you go to either of them, or do you stand back?
I'm going to brace, stand on guard in case there's something out there trying to ambush us.
All right, sounds good. All right, Songbo, your perception was too low. You don't notice either of the bodies. You're not sure why Goldleaf and Jade went to the same location together. It's weird. And then
Just had to go to the bathroom.
Isaac, you didn't even roll because you're just like, it's whatevs. Okay.
I'm more worried about the ship.
Okay. As you approach, he does seem to be pretty dead. I mean, he's got several gut wounds. It looks like his fingernails were pulled out, and a couple of his teeth. His eyes stare lifelessly up at the cloudy sky.
Jade can't help but still try to check for a pulse.
Stuck in his beard. Oh shit, okay. As you go and touch his wrist and feel for a pulse, you feel a thrum in your heart. You also feel a slight thrum in his pulse. His nostrils flare as he intakes a tiny breath.
Goldleaf, did you see that?
He's still alive.
His eyelids, they kind of try to move, but everything's dried out from being open this long. His mouth is trying to work and move, but it's just a mash of blood, dried and sort of cracking as he moves.
Whoa.
His lips.
I'll take out my water skin and try to wash out some of the blood from his mouth and try and, I guess, moisturize it more or less. So that he's not cracking his mouth apart.
As you do, it washes some of the blood away. His lips are all like chapped and everything. He gets some in his mouth. He kind of sputters. It comes out of his nose, out his mouth, blood, a little bit of phlegm, and some of the water. His eyes blink a little faster, and he says, I'm... Ew.
Well, shit, we were just talking about people returning and coming back to their bodies. Ain't that something? What happened here?
What happened here?
You're Captain Reese Durnall, Iron Gale Durnall, captain of the Gale Cutter. You had a crew here. You were helping us.
Oh, the crew!
It's coming back?
Crew.
Okay.
He starts to kind of look around.
Take it easy.
You see some blood kind of squirting out of his stomach wound.
Jade, can you do something about that?
Jade gets on it. Can I cast like lay on hands or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So cinematically, right, you kind of cast lay on hands on him. He says, "Oh, thank you. It was the Dawn Beak Raiders. I don't know how they found us. They had no reason to come by here. Perhaps it was just ill luck. They were looking for a place to dock for a bit. Maybe they had business in Terranathus. Maybe people who are after us called in a favor."
When did this happen?
They heard us
last night?
They must have heard us on the comms. That old man, Cassian, he insisted on fiddling with the radio. Was excited about it. He was calling out to see if anyone was there. I told him you're only using it to listen. Stopped, but I worry maybe his little test of the radio caught some attention that we couldn't afford. They were upon us, just coming out of the mist. It was a sloop, similar size to ours, but well equipped, well crewed. Everyone fought hard, but they fell.
Captain, where's Seraphine? The lady with the
I
asset.
know who you speak of. The client, the big fish. Well, Oscar, he tried to hide her below deck. Dust, he showed unusual amount of courage trying to fend them off. Yeah, the old man Cassian really gave it to him. Billabong, he's the only one I think that died. He took a terrible hit to the head. Crunched his helmet right in, blood everywhere. When everyone saw that they were willing to kill, broke some of their spirits a bit. Not Clive or Garrick. They fought with such ferocity, but they were subdued. Dawnbeak, they like slavery. The slavers. The Jathum are fascinated by us. Otherworldly beings. They like to keep us as pets, servants, or slaves. Sometimes I've heard they put you in a zoo in the great city, Amun Kalar.
Jade is absolutely disgusted by hearing this, that this has happened to other people who are different like her.
That's not. So.
Oh, sorry. I'll try to make it more immersive here. There's Billy Bong now.
No.
Damn.
I thought he was hurt.
Did they say anything while they were here of where they could be going?
They wanted to know if there was anyone else on the island. And I refused to tell them. They wanted to know what we were doing out here, what we were about. That made me think that whoever tipped them off didn't tell them everything. Didn't want them to know how valuable certain prisoners might be. To her credit, Lady Sunshadow delivered a fine lie. But they sensed something was being withheld. And rather than damage good merchandise, they thought they'd milk it out of me. One fingernail, one tooth at a time.
Just when we got everything we needed to fix up the ship on the island, and we came back, and damn it.
Jade feels awful and is just grabbing onto the captain's hand and just crying.
Isaac?
The
Longbow turns to Isaac and says, I wonder what they're all doing over there.
I don't know. They're yelling for me.
Like, the ship is right here.
I've got bad news for you.
Hmm?
Bubbles, he couldn't abide what they was doing to me. He went a bit crazy. Broke free of his bonds and came to try and save me.
They didn't.
They were gonna kill him. And so I told them about you all on the island and what you were about. But I never told them Lady Sunshadow's plans. They took my breaking as the only secret I was holding. When I told them who you were, the leader seemed to take an interest in Isaac. It was a man wearing a mask. I couldn't see his face. He asked me to clarify a few things, your demeanor, your age, your appearance. Then he seemed thoughtful like in his posture and demeanor. He said that our away team was worse than dead, that this is a cursed place. Sort itself out. That's when they ran me through. That's where I was left bleeding out on the deck of my own derelict ship. I heard them take everyone away. I heard them laugh as they pissed on Billy Bong's body. And I heard them take what little the ship had left to give. Someone asked, "Ain't we gonna haul it?" And they laughed and said, "It ain't worth breaking a single piece of rope over. This rusted out pile of shit." And you see a tear run down his face. That seems to hurt the most out of everything that happened. It's when they called his ship a rusted out pile of shit.
I mean, they literally pissed on Billy Bong's dead body. You'd think that maybe that would have. Oof, Songbow's gonna be. He's gonna be devastated.
Songbow's still just like surveying the damage on the ship.
Loritz finds you and says, "Oh, the others are, Captain. He is actually alive and telling everyone what happened."
Ah, the captain's alive. That's great.
Okay. Do you rush over?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's us talking about Songbow, looking at Billy Bong's dead body.
All right. The captain's eyes close, and his breathing is ragged but steady.
Isaac, Jade, do you think you can keep him stable?
Yep. Give me.
Go
I'm going to administer first aid. Stabilize.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. Looking at what happened to him, you don't think he was ever really dead. Just like hard motherfucker, like I'm not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna lay here, kind of thing.
Defeated. Not dead.
Yeah.
Defeated.
Like he would have died eventually, but you don't think that when they ran him through, that was actually enough to kill him. You think that he actually, like Pathfinder minigame, stabilized his death saves, and was just sort of laying there in like
nice.
Yeah.
Goldleaf will put a hand on his shoulder. Just get some rest.
You hear a scream from Miranda. "Oh my God! It's Billy Bong, and he's dead!"
Ah, damn it! We were gonna break the song.
Songbow freezes in place.
You see her open her journal, and she crosses something out in it. And then she puts the journal.
Ah, you dick!
1/30th of the way done with her loyalty quest.
29.
We're on that list, you know, right?
Okay.
Longbow rushes over.
Okay.
Suddenly interested.
He looks so beautiful in death. but his helmet is just completely caved in, and his face is just covered in blood.
Songbow's standing next to Billy Bong's corpse, saying, "But it says 34 out of 34."
I know. That's why I said he was
weeping.
unharmed. If this were a board game, it'd be fine.
I don't like killing things when I don't need to, because it puts all these status markers and animations and shit up.
And
You want me to try to stabilize him? Or...
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude. You gonna roll with it, or you gonna use hero point?
No, might as well. Might as well stick to it.
You gonna keep it? Okay.
Is he?
All
Well,
right.
here's the question: is he actually dead?
Well, I
He is
mean,
now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay. Look,
Songbow,
okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Songbow removes Billy Bong's helmet and looks at the pile of crushed cookies underneath.
No,
all right. As you are tending to him, instead of putting so much pressure on his neck pulse that you actually cause a hemorrhage in his brain and kill him, which is what was going to happen with the Nat 1. You realize that he's just asleep.
This
As
is
you
to deep in blood. This is Ketchum.
as you take the helmet off,
just
you do see and recall the rumors that his head is unbelievably small. The helmet is caved in, and it did cause a little scrape on his scalp. Scalp wounds do bleed heavily.
It was a jelly donut under his helmet.
Yeah,
the
he-
whole
I know,
time.
yeah.
right? Fucking jelly-filled cookies.
Mhm.
He was holding out
But
on
he
you when
continues-
you asked to give up his
He continues to slumber because he has had a hard time.
They crushed my toe.
Do you want me to try to stabilize him a little harder? He's an asshole, is what he.
His eyes open like a sleepy baby, and he lets out a scream, and he says, "Oh no, they're back!" Oh!
Songbo just tackles him in a hug. Like, Billy, you made it.
Miranda! You
What
gotta
are you
write him back
doing?
in!
Dead.
You hear a sigh as the pages are turned and some scritching of a quill pen is at work. Billy Bung says, "Oh, it's you guys. Oh, it was terrible. They came and they took everyone away and they killed the captain, and I was too much of a coward to do anything. Even when Bubbles tried to save the captain, I pretended to be dead because I was too afraid."
The captain's actually okay.
Oh, is he? That makes me feel a lot better. And
Bubbles
then
has been kidnapped, though.
they peed on me. Like 6 of them, and 2 of them were women.
Wait, and you
What
managed
kind
to...
of a woman pees on a dead body in front of everybody? There's no decorum.
They did the funnel thing, right?
No. And he
Oh.
just sobs.
Wait, and you
know how
managed
hard
to
it
keep
was
it
to
together
pretend to be dead?
and
Well,
keep
yeah.
them convinced you were dead while they were doing... That's really impressive.
Yeah, well, none of it got in my mouth. I would have probably broken character if that had happened for sure.
I'm so sorry, Billy Bung, but I was wondering what that smell was.
Yeah, it's the urine of 6 different people.
I thought you pooped your pants.
Oh, I
So,
did.
like, the
So
okay.
it was also, yeah, in my pee
Buy-in.
and poo, yeah. It's a mess.
I want to wash my hands.
Baby.
Do we know where that river went?
Oh. There's a river. I've been laying here, pretending I was dead so hard I fell asleep.
Truly are a gem.
Thanks.
Okay, well, these Dawnbeak raiders decided to mess with us, with the ship, and with our friends. How are we gonna find them? If they took... Well, I guess we have to do a whole new assessment on the ship again, see what's now missing. Even though we just came back with a haul of stuff.
Well, fortunately, we're at a place where we can find those parts.
Yeah, but in all reality, the things that were broken were like the core functions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they sort of only took like the one luxury feature that was still left.
No, the air conditioning.
Yeah, but we got a new frost crystal for that at least.
Mm-hmm. It looks on them, it doesn't work.
Silver Eye looks thoughtful and says, Dawnbeak Raiders. They have, assuming, a bit of a head start on us, so I think our best bet would be Port Eclipse.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
makes
someone
sense.
here knows the way.
It'd be easy enough to find.
Yeah, looks at the unconscious captain. Samuel says, whoa, 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 whoa. Port Eclipse is a hive of scum and pirates. He's around nervously like he almost got sued. You just want to go there? I mean, I know you guys are pretending to be pirates, but like you go to Port Eclipse, you either die or you leave a pirate.
Look, if there's one
What
place
part
we're
of
going
us being outlawed and chased by the Aether Blades and declared like banished from the settlement? What part of that is pretending?
Well, we haven't pirated.
I mean, you know, you seem to just spare a lot of people. You know, I mean,
Well, we need a crew.
How do you think pirate ships get their crews? Like,
Look, if there's going to be a place where we can find a gorilla, a big boobied elf lady, and there's the only two really they took.
preposterously
the only
big,
two
really.
The
Yeah.
only two you remember is as you sort through your memory banks.
Well, you know.
What about this little fella?
Oh yes, the robot. Well, that's just an object.
Right?
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they were able to take the
That's-
ship with that fucking guardian.
Okay.
Oscar.
That's not
Well,
cool.
It's
I
gotta be
couldn't remember that.
activated, right?
Ooh, the bird person. I did forget about.
Not what Chop.
Dust. I spent a lot of time near the engine when we first got on the boat. Didn't really talk to many of these people, but look, if there's a place we're going to find all of these fools, it's probably going to be there. That's where I would take them if I kidnap, a strange group of people.
You says, yes, but we don't have a ship.
Yet.
We have one right there. It's just not functional yet.
He looks at the
And
ship
we will
that
make
you're
it functional.
standing on, and he looks back at the spooky island, and he lets out a long sigh. He says, "Were I only left behind on the ship, I could have died defending the others, and I could have reclaimed some small amount of my honor that was stolen from me."
Well, maybe next time. Let's get started.
Alright, let me get the dummy ship construction. Blast away gummy ship. Ah, here it is. Building the Oh man.
I feel like that music is way too happy for the situation.
Alright, I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like Isaac and Miranda and Songbow are pretty happy here, just rebuilding the ship.
I mean, honestly, I was gonna play Whistle while you guys were working, so it's not that far off.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Well, you have to stay positive.
Alright, so do you want me to go over the actual airship rules with you guys so you have a sense of what
Hell
is
yeah.
going on here? Okay. Alright, so in our airship system, there are 6 frames that ships are built out of. The frames level up like a character from level 1 to level 20. Kind of like how a kingdom in Kingmaker levels up from level 1 to 20. They can level up 3 different ways. One is the DM is lazy, and he's like, the ship is the same level as the APL. That's what we're currently using. Another system is you have to dump a shitload of money into the ship, and after you dump a certain amount of money into it, it reaches like the next level. The third one is the ship gains its own XP for you guys doing cool pirate explorer shit. So exploring hexes, winning ship battles, stuff like that. Getting new crew members, like that, like levels up the ship essentially. I was gonna ask you guys, which of those 3 systems would you like to use moving forward?
The last one sounds like milestone.
I like, the first one or the third one.
Okay.
Because the first one would be sort of like we tinker with it
As
over
you go,
time.
right? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
symbiotic
And then-
to you guys, you know what I'm saying? And it's one less thing that we have to track. And it's one less thing we
Yeah,
have to track.
I don't like having to dump a whole bunch of money into the ship when we need money for other things too.
Right, yeah. And then the whole, like, separate XP, and then the ship and you guys are essentially level-gated to each other, so, like, you can never be, like, more than 1 level away from each other, so, like, you guys couldn't milestone higher than the ship, and the ship couldn't milestone higher than you, kind of thing, so you'd be pursuing, like, 2 different, like, goals, you know what I'm saying, like, keeping the ship, so, like, I'm kind of prone to the first one, because I think there's enough stuff going on in the campaign without needing to worry about ship having XP.
I think there's enough of us with a heavy enough focus on like crafting and stuff that it makes sense for us to keep up the thing as we go.
All right. So since the ship is essentially, you guys are familiar with Voltron, right? Like not the Magic the Gathering strategy, but like the actual show Voltron. If not that, Power Rangers or a derivative.
Yes.
Okay. So the ships in this campaign, they have full like monster stat blocks. So they actually have all 6 stats like a normal creature would have. And they have you know, hit points. They are like constructs in that they have all the object immunities, right? So you can't be using like mental damage on a ship or anything like that. How does a airship have an intelligence score, a wisdom score, and a charisma score? The intelligence score of an airship is the system integration. So like how well laid out is the ship, right? Like how easy is it to get from one part of the ship to another part of the ship? Like the systems on the ship, like how intelligently built are they? The wisdom of the ship is the sensors and navigation systems of the ship. Like how good is it at, you know, knowing where it is, knowing where it's going, seeing what's coming. And then the charisma of the ship is what is its communication system like? Like how does the ship look? Like how well maintained is it? You know, that sort of thing. So how does communication and morale on the ship happening, and then how does the ship interact with other ships? Like when they, you know, when people see your ship, like how do they feel about it, and how effectively can you radio, you know, communicate with other ships and stuff like that? So that's the charisma. So that allows the ship to have like all 6 stats like a normal character, even though it's a vehicle. The Pathfinder vehicle rules are not great. So I was kind of looking for something that would be a little bit better than the vehicle rules, and that's kind of what I hit upon, was like, what if we just made the ship like a big ass monster, right? So then it was like, how do we have ships fight each other, right? There's 6 players. You don't just want to watch me roll for your ship against another ship and it's just a kaiju battle and you guys eat popcorn, right? You want to be a part of it. Well, way back in the day, the Skull and Shackles pirates, they had to turn their ship into a kaiju to fight another kaiju who was the goddess of scavengers living at the bottom of the ocean. And what happened was each of the pirates took a turn, and their collective turns was the full action economy of the kaiju. So that's actually the premise behind how the ship combat's going to work in this campaign. So there are 6 positions that you would field in combat: the captain, the helmsman, the engineer, the quartermaster, the gun boss, and the ship mage. And so basically the captain's job is to like assist and direct the rest of the ship. So basically they get an extra reaction that can be used for the assist action. And when the captain assists, their assist bonus counts as a status bonus, not a circumstance bonus. That means that their assist can stack with somebody else's assist. So all the times you've seen, like, you know, pop culture, spaceship battle, pirate ship battle, and they're like, we need everybody on the sails, we need all energy on the thrusters, right? That's kind of like the captain's doing an assist, and then somebody else is doing an assist to make sure that that thing that they really need to work has the most bonus it could possibly have. The captain can also, on a successful 2 action, he can buff, or they can buff the ship to give it temp HP. And then they can also spend 2 actions to give any other crew member 1 extra action on their turn. And then in ship combat, you get 3 actions. Primarily, you're going to focus on your ship, like your crew role during a ship battle. But if you have other abilities from your class or whatever, and your character, and you think that they would be viable in that moment during the ship battle, you can always ask to do those instead of your normal ship roll stuff. The helmsman is, I could probably just share what I got with you guys. Hold on. It's still very much like
Progress.
Work in progress, because like I had 2 other systems that I didn't like, and then I hit upon this like today at lunch, and I've been like working on it ever since. But it's like I couldn't just make an entire subsystem in one afternoon, apparently. But here, I will share it with you guys.
Is it still in that
Please
same
try it at least,
airship
so you know we
stock?
appreciate it.
No. That one sucks. That's the bad one.
Oh.
This is the new one I'm working on. I posted it up in general for now. But I'll pin it. And it's got tabs, so you can kind of move between it. But in crew management, so the captain has 2 locked actions in addition to their passive that I already told you, and then they have 2 other actions. This uses Pokemon rules, so you can only ever have 4 actions at a time. The other 2 are unlocked via augments. So whatever you have augmented to the ship may or may not give the captain more options in battle, up to a total of 4. Oh, and the captain's skills are diplomacy and intimidation. The helmsman skills are piloting lore or sailing lore, interchangeable, and nature. Their passive ability is if there's bad weather or hazards at the beginning of each round, not at the beginning of their turn, they can try to reduce or negate those penalties for that round. Then they're the ones that actually move and turn the ship, because all airship combat happens on a hex-based grid. And so a hex has 6 sides, so you would rotate 60 degrees per turn. A ship could only fly in a straight line of wherever the ship is facing. So like, that's all taken from like Starfinder, essentially. There is elevation, so there is low, middle, and high. And then the difference between the different heights is considered to be 2 hexes. So if you're low and the enemy's high and they're 4 hexes away, they're actually 8 hexes away, because it's 4 over and then 4 up. And then we're not going to use Pythagorean theorem or anything like that. You can change altitude of the ship, so you can kind of move from one zone to another, like one stage, but it takes two actions from the helmsman to do it. Then they have a once per battle reaction, where if they're targeted by an effect, like an attack, or they're forced to make a save, they can roll a piloting or sailing lore, and if it is better than the defense that is being targeted, you use that instead. And then they have 2 open slots that they could put more stuff in if more stuff is unlocked with augments. Engineer uses crafting and engineering lore. Their passive ability is System Purge. At the end of each round, they roll a crafting or engineering lore versus the DC of any one condition or affliction affecting the ship to attempt to counteract. On a success or critical success, you can reduce or remove the effect. So if the ship's on fire or whatever, like, they don't have to actively spend an action on that. They get to roll to remove that effect from the ship. And that's in addition to the ship's normal flat chance to get rid of something. Reinforce. So for 2 actions, they can attempt to heal the ship. And this is similar to a treat wounds, but like using crafting and targeting the ship. once per battle as a reaction, if the ship would be critically hit, they can downgrade the result to a normal hit. I think it does require a skill check. Because nothing is free in Pathfinder. And then they have 2 slots that can be filled with augment abilities. The Quartermaster uses Diplomacy, Sailing Lore, and Society. Their passive is Morale Boost. At the start of each round, they can choose one of their crew member. That crew member gets a +1 status bonus to ship action rolls. So as long as it's one of their 4 ship actions and they've been chosen by the Quartermaster, they get a +1 to those rolls if they make any rolls. The Quartermaster is pretty interesting because their ability is filling gaps. So 2 actions, and it's a flourish, so they can only do it once per round. They can perform any 1 action maneuver or strike another crew role has slotted, as if it were their own. But they do have to use the associated skill of that job. But essentially the Quartermaster can become any of the other jobs, including the captain, if you feel like that would be useful. But it's a 2-for-1. They spend 2 actions to do a 1 Pac-Man action. And then they have cover weakness once per battle. When another crew member fails an action, you use your reaction to let them re-roll it. This is a fortune effect. Then they get 2 slots that can be filled with augments. The gun boss. Their passive, their abilities are ranged weapon attacks and warfare lore. Their passive is called Accuracy Pool. They get 1 accuracy token per round. You can spend accuracy tokens before a strike to gain +1 status bonus per token spent to a maximum of +3. And then they have 4 open slots. So they don't have any locked in abilities. They're entirely based on what you have augmented to the ship. And so the kind of things that the gun boss will have access to is siege weapons, offensive abilities and enhancements, and then something called arrays. So an array basically takes into account all of the siege weapons you have that are the same siege weapon. And so you can fire all of them at once, and then you make 1 attack roll, but you get to use all the damage dice combined. So that's like how airships get past the damage threshold, the hardness essentially of other ships, is you would fire an array. What you want to have multiple guns, essentially, like siege weapons on your ship, because while you're in ship combat, the gun boss can ignore the aiming and reloading requirements of siege weapons. For 1 action, they can just fire off a siege weapon, but each siege weapon can only be fired once per round. So if the gun boss wants to fire a second time, they'll do so at map, and it'll have to be a different siege weapon, if that makes sense. And then finally, the ship mage. Their passive, their skill is relevant magic skill, which is to say Arcana, Nature, etc., etc., etc. If your ship mage is only good at 1 type of magic skill, you probably only want to get augments that use that skill, right? So this is where those feats that are like, if you have really high Arcana, you can substitute it for Primal, kind of thing. They have feats like that. Because your ship mage, if they have really good at all 4 magic skills, it kind of cracks open what you have access to as far as ship mage equipment. They get 1 rune token per round. They may spend rune tokens before the ship makes a saving throw to grant a +1 status bonus per token spent. And then they have 4 slots that are determined by your augments that you have equipped. So it is imperative that, the ship mage, in order to have something to do, you do have at least 1 or 2 augments that would give them things to do. Same thing with the gun boss. You definitely want to have, a couple of things for the gun boss to do. So as you are kind of outfitting the ship, and filling in those augment slots, you are going to want to prioritize getting the gun boss and the ship mage things to do, because the other 4 jobs have 2 innate actions built into their class. That makes sense so far.
Yeah, so far.
Okay. All right. So then, going back to the airship frames, there are 6 different airship frames. They increase in prowess as they level up. They have proficiency in things, and they add their level to the things that they are proficient in as well. So their armor class is going to go up with their level. Their saving throws are going to go up with their level, and so on and so forth. The amount of augmentation slots will also increase with the ship's level. So most ships, we're going to start with 6 augmentation slots, and then every odd level, so 3, 5, 7, etc., they get another augmentation slot. It maxes out at 15 augmentation slots at level 19, and then at level 20, you unlock a legendary slot where you could put just something absolutely insane that makes your ship sort of your signature, like, cool thing that your ship has that maybe no other ship has. Some augmentation slots cost more, or some augmentations cost more than 1 slot to put in. So those are like generally more powerful, or you're getting like more out of them than you would get out of a normal augmentation. The 6 different types are the sloop, which is basically the all-arounder, just like this is like the average airship. Then you've got the skiff, which is a little tiny ship. The skiff is incredibly fast and has insane reflex saves, and at level 18, it can backstab other ships. But generally, you don't want to be riding around in a skiff if you can help it, because if another ship catches you, they will just destroy you. So these are the TIE fighters and like the X-wings of airships, essentially. You guys are in a Corsair. So the Corsair is like the hero ship. Basically, it's like a sloop if a sloop was a swashbuckler instead of a fighter. So you have 35 hit points plus 8 hit points per level, plus the Constitution bonus to hit points for your ship, which means that the ship is going to have less hit points than it had before, but it's going to have a scaling damage threshold. So your ship's damage threshold is actually going to be 12 at level 3. So any damage 11 or less gets ignored. So your average Joe firing an arrow at your ship isn't going to do anything to your ship. The armor class of the ship is going to be 10 plus dex mod of the ship, plus its proficiency modifier, plus its level. There are augments that you can get that increase the AC proficiency of your ship. There's also ones that increase the actual armor, like armor plating. Just gives you like a flat bonus to your armor class. Your Corsair is trained in all 3 saving throws, but none of them scale naturally. So if you want to increase those saving throws even more, you would have to get augmentations that do that. It's a pretty fast ship. It goes 6 hexes per move, which is pretty fucking fast, and it turns the normal 60 degrees per action point.
Is it 6 speed or 7?
It says 7 here. It says 7 hexes per move. Like the character sheet in the game, Oh yeah, sorry. Its speed is speed is 7. Speed is 7. The character sheet in the game is no longer accurate. I haven't gotten a chance to totally move it over yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, every airship frame, it has like 4 signature things that every airship that has that frame is going to have. So for the Corsair, level 1 is first impressions. The first diplomacy or intimidation roll made by any crew member during an encounter involving other ships can be rolled twice, taking the highest result. This is a fortune effect. Additionally, on the first round of combat, the Corsair may move up to 2 hexes immediately before its first action without using an action. Then at level 6, it gets Tenacious when the Corsair's hit points are equal to or less than 50%, so when it's bloodied. It gets the following: when using the turn action, it can turn 1 or 2 times per action instead of just 1. Any healing the Corsair receives is increased by half the Corsair's level. And then the Corsair can move 1 hex for free before or after its turn. Then at level 12, it gets Swashbuckling Overdrive. Whenever the Corsair lands a critical hit or critically succeeds on a reflex saving throw, it may step twice. So it can move 2 hexes without like provoking or anything that would cause issues. And then at level 18, it gets an ability called Sky Duelist. Whenever the Corsair engages in combat with no allied ships present, it gains 3 lucky points for the encounter. Its crew can use the lucky point to reroll critically failed d20 checks. This is a fortune effect. If any allied ships join the fight, any unspent lucky points are lost. So this is essentially, again, like the hero ship, right? Like the ship that, you know, doesn't want to be a part of a fleet, wants to kind of go off and do its own thing. You don't have to keep the same ship that you started with if you guys want to switch to something else, but that's what you guys currently have as a Corsair frame. The other ones are the Merchant, which is just really good at carrying stuff. Essentially, the way it's built, it counts half its normal amount for capacity and movement purposes. So all of its cargo, it can carry twice as much as what is listed, essentially. And then it's really good at switching out augments. Normally, augments can only be switched out during downtime, but the Merchant and the Sloop both have abilities that allow them to switch the augments out during a daily preparation instead of during downtime, so it gives them some flexibility. The Galleon is just like, that's when you're getting into the big boy ships. The Galleon is kind of like the tank, in so much as it can defend adjacent ships against attacks by taking the hits for them, kind of like imposing itself between attacks. It also has an air anchor system where it can basically, sky anchor system, where it actually stops flying and just like stays in place. And while it is staying in place, it gets additional bonuses that it wouldn't normally have. And then finally, the Juggernaut is just a flying fortress, essentially. It's just a massive, like, mana fortress, aircraft carrier kind of situation. Now, all of these have a default level 0 floatstone engine. That means that every frame can float. But in order to move, they would need sails to catch the wind, bellows to like squeeze to like propel them, like that kind of stuff. So one of the augments that you do always want to have is probably the best augment that you can get for your ship's level. Ships can only have equipment equal to their level. That actually gives you some kind of propulsion. Now, the other types of engines, like bound elementals or strapping your ship to like a living creature, like a sky whale or something, those use augment slots. So essentially the benefit of being strapped to the back of a cloud giant is that you have significantly less augment slots for other stuff, because, you know, most of your ship has been removed to make room for the dragon. And so that's kind of how the whole system balances itself out. And it's completely like customizable. So like, if you know, hey, we're going to a hex where it's constantly a blizzard, you might want to switch out for cold proofing and fire-based weapons and things like that. If you are going to a battle against a bunch of undead, you might not want to bring cannons that do void damage. You might want to switch to cannons that do spirit damage, like that kind of thing. So the idea is that you collect these augments and then you slot them in based on what you think the ship needs. That's the idea I had for the airship system, that I think is so much better than any of the other airships.
It sounds neat.
Right? So the problem is, obviously, a system like that is basically like, cool, like, what are all the augments we can have? I want a catalog so I can start shopping and buying and all that. But this actually works beautifully with the scenario you guys are in, because this was already planned that while you were gone, the ship was going to be attacked and all that jazz. But now you've discovered all these things in the Hydroforge and around the island that you could use to essentially fix up the ship. So the idea here is you guys will be able to do a full loadout on the ship using the stuff that you found here. But since I don't have everything 100% ready, it would kind of be like, this is the stuff that I do have ready, but is there things that you would want to focus on for the ship? And then we'll kind of design around that space, theming it to what you could make with what is here at the Hydroforge.
I want to hunt slimes and launch them onto the enemy ship.
Guys, you like a slime cannon? That's pretty dope.
Yep.
Okay. We could
Oh
probably
man, we could use the slime crystals to do it.
Fine.
Ooh. Because just putting acid on their deck just sounds great. Corrupted slime and corrupted floatstone to make cannonballs.
We immediately go for
Sorry, see if these
warfare.
mines kicking in.
Okay, so for the slime cannon, what I'm thinking is, you guys can find enough stuff to do your full like seven slots or whatever, and then across the 7 slots, I'm thinking you do 3 level 1 augments, and then 2 level 2, and then 2 level 3. So that, you know, you kind of have a spread. You're not like fully pimped out with like 3 in every slot, because you are just kind of using salvaged, like, you know, wreckage essentially. That gives you room to grow, but it still lets you focus on having a few like really good items there. So what I'll do is I'll post up, here are the 3 different levels of slime cannon. Just gonna put these down at the bottom. All right. So what other items are you thinking you'd like to look for? Like, everyone you suggest, I will like generate like a, because I kind of created like the guidelines for what the different categories of items should be, and then basically like we can just kind of ask for stuff and it should churn it out based on the formulas and the math that I gave it. So is there another type of thing that you want to add? It looks like, you know, you guys have the crane thing going. I could put that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, crane arms.
Yeah. All right.
That'll probably be our level 3 right there.
I'll put the things that you could get from the clockwork fabricator, so you get a sense of what.
Could we have the I don't know how it would work, but we have the like robot. Is there any way we could make them like deploy and repair the ship if necessary?
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Repair bots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Alright.
awesome.
Yeah, let me check on that.
Use the fabricators for repair bots.
Yeah.
Like little Roombas. Anytime something
Yeah.
breaks, they just go off on their own.
Yeah. We probably have to replace the things that were residing in them, because those slimes didn't exactly.
All right, so then here is floatstone engine upgrades, because you're definitely going to want to pick out one of those. You'll notice that each of them should have a trait sometimes they don't have a trait, but they should have a trait like engineer. So that means that it kind of provides something for that particular job if it's slotted. Trying to get to the here we go. Grab the twin claw docking rig. That down here. Also, single one. Cradle hook harness if you didn't want to go all in on the twin claw docking rig, because it's taking up 2 out of your 7 slots, you know, so hard choice. But I mean, grappler arms. Okay, and then you were asking about heal bots.
In the R2D2 droids to go repair the ships.
Aw, that's fun. Forward to, I guess. Mix those in?
Oh, and slightly different note. Is Gravel an Eldmon?
Is Gravel an Eldamon? I mean, he could be. He's not officially an Eldamon, though. But he could definitely be swapped into one if someone was thinking of pursuing that archetype path or whatever. He is,
I like critters.
He is definitely willing and able to join the B team, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was looking at the Eldmon stuff. It requires charisma. I don't have that.
Yeah. I mean, just like Ash Ketchum. He's the most charismatic guy in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Brock was a trainer, too.
That's true. That's true. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So, and Cynthia. All right. So, any other things that you guys? I think we need some ship mage options. Oh, maybe some armor options too. Probably
Yeah.
good. Okay. Some ship mage stuff. armor options. And then obviously, if you defeat other ships, like you get to take like some of the augments from the other ship as like, you know, drops from that ship. So that's like one way to get more augments. And then you can buy augments from, you know, Port Eclipse and other places like that. Plus, with the innovators you have on the crew, you can always kind of look for
Schematics or something.
opportunities. Yeah, schematics, invent new ones. You can recruit people to the crew that might know how, ways to improve the ship, so they might come with augmentations that they can add to the ship. And there could be, if you rank up a BT member enough, that BT member can be slotted in an augment slot on the ship because their presence on the ship is so profound that they provide a unique bonus to the entire ship just by being there. So yeah, even the crew can be an augment to the ship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe small, with a fully powered Billabong takes up 4 slots.
You actually load Billabong into a cannon and you fire him at another ship. So, no.
It's just a 1-hit kill. But we lose Billabong.
I mean, were there any non-believers that thought Billabong might really be dead? I mean, come on now. Is there anybody that for a second thought that Billabong could be dead? I don't think so. No. They got that B-team contract.
He wasn't on their B team at the time.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure. Isn't it like they can be killed if story purposes are available?
Yeah. But I mean, rescuing your crew members that you've known for 2 days. I mean, that's the kind of motivation that One Piece is all about. You know what I'm saying? That's what pirates are all
100%.
about. Yeah. You guys literally sail together for less than 48 hours, but I mean, I feel
And
like
we'll go to war for them.
Fight or die.
Yeah.
Knock him.
Are you here? Did you make it?
Knock them off.
Knock him.
Oh no, I just read your message. I'm so sorry. I've had that before. It is the worst.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought Larry joined us. He just messaged me, like, about why he didn't make it. Okay, I'll message him. No worries. Catch the VOD. Get rest. I don't think it's a scandalous thing to say. He got Lyme disease.
Oh, shit.
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, which I have had, and it is horrible.
It's
It
fucking terrible.
permanently damages your immune system too. So that sucks. All right. Hopefully it doesn't get comboed with Alpha Cal, because I mean ticks, man, they just know all the worst things to do. All the
Ticks
worst.
are assholes.
Yeah, there's like what's it? Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
Oh,
Like that's
God,
also
there's
like
that
another.
too. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's hope it just stops at Lyme disease.
Yeah.
All right. So have I
He's
given
been awfully tired for like the past 2 sessions
Yeah.
too, so I wonder how long he's been dealing with
had
it.
it. Oh,
Yep.
And I was kind of wondering because he went silent during Stolen Fate on Monday, so I
Right?
was like, I wasn't
I
sure.
think he actually fell asleep at the end. Yeah. Damn. He always has such good energy too. That's how you know something.
Yeah, when Bella went quiet, it was like,
Mm.
is something all right?
Not too quiet during our Lion King adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, if I pass out, it's all fine. Everybody knows it. So
Right,
it's normal.
That makes sense. That makes sense. If Stone passes out during extra life, that's okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. But,
yeah, that's yeah.
But like,
I think I've done that almost every extra life.
Tired? Oh my gosh, no. All right, have I given you guys enough options? Do you want me to keep putting more, or is this enough to start? Like,
I think this is enough for now.
Okay, so
oh wait,
I'm not trying to deflect and be like, this is the best part of DMing is when the players DM themselves. But I do feel like you guys will need to pick out what you're doing for your ship. So you want me to change the music to something less obnoxious and you hang out for 30 minutes and compare and contrast?
Yeah, I guess it'd be good.
How dare you say this music is obnoxious?
Do you love it? Is this your favorite so far?
I mean, it's fun.
Okay, I'll leave it on then.
It's bringing back memories.
As long as it's not distracting you guys. Because
I feel like I'm in a Mario Party lobby.
Ah, okay. Because I do have this nice, like, vaporware mix that I think is very good for productivity, but, you know, fine.
I am definitely down to change it. Don't let my opinion influence everybody.
Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so we have 7 slots, right?
Of shaking your buns while you work on your airship.
I feel like I'm in a Daft Punk video. What the hell?
Yeah, that's vaporware. Or vaporwave. Yeah. All right. So I will be here to answer questions and format document while you guys are working. Do you want me to leave them in their categories? Or do you want me to start moving all the level 1s into the level 1 section and all the level 2s level 2 section?
Probably do that.
Yeah.
Sort by
instead of having all
levels.
the slime cannons together, you want me to move like slime cannon level 1 to the level 1 section and okay. That might make it a little jarring to read, though.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll just do some gentle formatting.
So, do you want? I guess here's my thoughts. We know we want the level 2 crane arms, right? Am I correct in saying that? Sorry.
I think
the
so.
The 2 slot greener.
Okay. That makes it simple. Now you got 5 to work with.
Do we want to go with level 1s of a bunch of different other ones, like one for armor, one for the system, one for? Do we get upgrade them later as we go? Or are we looking to get some, like, picking a few of them that are going to be heavier?
I feel like we should probably start on some base level stuff and then kind of upgrade them as we go.
Gotcha. I'm in agreement. Something that grabbed my attention. It's level 1.
Are down here somewhere too. If you want to check out your heal bots.
So I think a level 1 slime, a level 1 heal bot, because we both we came up with those ideas. That kind of.
Yeah.
So that gives us.
I mean, our ship is. What level is our ship?
Level 3. Because we're doing it according to our APL.
You could do 2 level 3 items, 2 level 2 items, and the rest have to be level 1.
Yeah, so do you think maybe the heal bot should be the other level 3 item?
Well, I wouldn't go to a level 3 already, because that would leaves us with 2.
Well, it still only takes 1 slot, though. It's a level 3 item, but it takes 1 slot.
Item I think that you have right now is the crane arms, the grappler arms.
Oh, okay. I think I got.
Yeah. The level doesn't. in any way affect the slots. It's the complexity of the item that affects how many slots.
Okay, level, slot cost, different things. Okay, sorry.
Right. Yeah, slot cost is the complexity of it. So because your crane arms can do their own thing, and then the thing that level 1 could do, that's why it takes up 2 slots, because it does so much.
Okay.
Okay.
I misunderstood that. I apologize.
Oh no worries. Yeah.
So then the twin claw docking rig. Put that on the slot for 2.
Yeah, I made a new tab called Gale Cutter, so I'm gonna go.
Nice.
I'm gonna start copy and pasting your stuff down there.
Where is this in? In document.
Yeah, it's in the dockage down at the bottom.
All right, something that caught my attention: this sky scale ailerons. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
It's
Aileron.
aileron. Yeah.
Ailerons, yeah.
Having meta knowledge, being hit with AoEs, something to give bonuses against that is very good.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Should we
Gives
also?
evasion. Yeah.
And we need armor of some kind. I mean, that's kind of And if anybody has if I'm overstepping, other people have other ideas, by all means.
What sort of role on the ship is everybody hoping to fill? That way we know, like, if nobody wants to be a ship mage, then we probably don't need to grab a ship mage augment, for example.
Don't we all need to fill at least one slot, though?
Yeah, that way you guys will have something to do in combat.
Well, are there only 6 different?
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
where we should start.
That's why I definitely recommend getting at least one item for the ship, like the ship mage role, and at least one item for the
Gun boss.
The gun boss.
Because that's what they need, to be able to do anything.
The other ones technically could do stuff already.
All right, I do have nature lores for if you want me to do helmsman.
Songbow would like to be engineer.
I have diplomacy if you want me to be captain.
Oh yes!
I was gonna say I also have a really high diplomacy skill. I think I'm like
Same
plus 11
here.
or something.
No, you're better than me.
Whoever has the most skill coverage should be the
Quartermaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever
Who's got
feels like
society?
they cover the most jobs, you should be the quartermaster.
I have a 9 to society.
And as the most famous knight captain of all time, Phipps Chumlet would tell you, the quartermaster is basically the real captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 2 best skills are crafting and occultism, both at 10, and sailing lore. And then I've got society, arcana, and engineering lore as plus 8, and then it's a pretty steep fall after that.
Yeah, my best skill is crafting at 11. I've an 8 to diplomacy, 9 to medicine, 9 to occult, 9 to society, 9 to arcana, 8 to performance.
Oh, my crafting's normally 11 also. I'm just sickened at the moment.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
I have an 11 to diplomacy, a 9 to deception and performance, 7 to acro, 5 to intimidation, and then a smattering of 3s and 2s and 1s everywhere else.
Yeah, I got a 9 in nature, and then the 6 in sailing. So.
I mean, that's pretty good for pilot. I'm just saying. I mean, that's.
How do I recover from slime rot?
Oh, it's a disease, so you guys will have to play the mini games for that. Technically, I should have pinged you for it when you woke up, but it hasn't technically been 24 hours since you got infected. But
okay.
Yeah. So slime rot is 1 day intervals. So you would make a save when you get to the 1 day interval, and then if you succeed, it gets 1 less. Critically succeed, it gets 2 less. Fail, it gets 1 worse. Critically fail, it gets 2 worse. You do not want to get to stage 6, or you will die. Your body erupts, and you birth a slime mold from your remains.
If you want, I could make you an anti-plague.
That would be fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. After finding out the symptoms. Yeah.
So the green dot that I have, does that mean I'm infected too?
Yeah, you are initial infected, so you would actually have an onset of a certain number of days before anything bad happened to you. For you, it is 2 days. So you have one more day, or a day and change.
I'll make you so that way you both have one.
And I think Loritz also has 2 days. Okay.
Cool. Did I make 3? Jeez.
Yeah, man, they were getting slimed up. The reason that Songbow's advanced so hard is if you already have a timed affliction like that, and then you get it again, it advances the affliction. It's how a long-term disease can become like a big deal, like during a fight, like rather than just like an inconvenience.
There's a way to just give items to players, right?
Yeah, you should be able to drag onto their miniature in this system. It's not like the 5e thing. I think 5e also lets you do it, but just not to. You can't do it to NPCs.
Gotcha.
So Jade had it, and who else had? Loritz?
Loritz. Yeah.
Which ones are those? Are those from your daily preparation?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are gonna last 24 hours, so you're gonna have to make them again.
So drag them soon. That's what I heard.
But yeah.
You know what I was surprised is Gun Boss is historically accurate. Like it's an actual like job. Like that's what they would call the guy that was in charge of the gunnery division with the Gun Boss. Person in charge of the gunnery division. Ship mage is of course the goal of every real fantasy pirate ship is to have a good ship mage.
Yeah. The last thing you want is to get tricked into believing that you have one. It turned out you don't have one.
Yeah, that is rough. That is rough.
And then have that happen to you twice.
The first one was like a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait, were they?
Yeah, the white dragonborn that ended up marrying the runaway fire princess.
Yeah.
The beauty of sandbox games is getting to the end and having so many unresolved plot lines. Imagine if a TV show tried to get away with that. Oh wait.
Yeah.
There are TV shows that do that. Yeah.
I think cancel before they actually get to the end of their arcs.
They're like, well, this is your last season. You got 3 more episodes. It's like, cool. We have 30 ongoing storylines. Guess we'll figure out which ones we want to finish.
Well, the secret is to not finish them, so that way you can get picked up by Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And then cancel after 1 season.
Yeah,
Dang.
then you get picked up by Hulu.
Oh no! Are you talking about Lucifer right now? Because goddamn guys.
Eventually, you're on Tubi. You know.
Oh no!
Man, you can be talking about any number of shows.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so the only position we know for sure is Songbow basically says, I can't do anything else. All right. Songbow.
Oh, next to engineer, I put Songbow.
Okay.
Although it's just a...
I argue with my current addictions, I shouldn't be allowed to be quartermaster.
You shouldn't be quartermaster. Okay, all right. Who's got the best ranged attack or training in warfare lore? Anybody? I mean, somebody has to have the best ranged attack, though, right?
I'm going to assume the monk, but
Probably.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably Loritz. You were down for helmsman, right, Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay, do you think Loris might be? I mean, he told me in this campaign he just wants to like fucking smash. Like he doesn't want to have to think or roleplay too hard.
Well,
I
that's
think,
a smash roll.
Gun
That's-
Boss works for that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
Pretty funny.
All right,
As the smash roll, all the
all right. I'm filling out your roster down on the Gale Cutter tab down at the bottom here.
So, do you want our captain to be Jade, or is she our shipmate because she's a caster? I mean,
So, about that.
She's a
No,
charisma
no, no.
caster, so she doesn't really have any
I
of
have
the.
+1 to Arcana. I have +1 to occultism. I just don't have. I'm not very good at a lot of things.
no.
No, don't tell us
I
that
think-
yet.
I think
Wait,
you
like
have-
30
I think you have
seconds.
to. I think you have to raise at least one magic skill to access higher level magic. I think.
We'll see.
Okay.
oh, no.
I mean, we got respecs at level 5. We got respecs coming up at level 5.
When are we getting to level 5? Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, like, if you get to level 5 and you're like, oh yeah, I actually did need to have checks, notes, religion, you trained in religion.
I have a +6 to religion.
Yeah.
That's a casting thing.
We
Is
can
it?
check everybody's skill. Yeah. The 4 casting skills
Clerics use
are nature, religion, arcana, and
Occultism.
occultism.
I have
So
a +2 to
if-
nature, +1 to Arcana, +1 to occultism, and I have a +6 to religion.
So you probably have religion because you are a divine caster. Like
Yeah.
you're yeah. So
Yeah.
that's your magic skill is religion. That
So
just
be-
means that they'd have to make sure that they bought a religion based augment for the ship.
So,
I'm not a caster.
I'm not a caster, but I have +6 arcane, +9 nature.
Well, that's the cool thing about magic skills is you don't actually have to be a caster to
Okay.
perform rituals and deal with stuff that requires magical training.
I have a +9 to occultism and a +9 to Arcana.
Oh,
It
nice.
kind of sounds like you're the ship wizard, bro.
Yeah, I think
Look at
I'm the
me.
Sith Wizard. Yeah.
You're the
Okay.
Alka wizard.
All right. So
That's a
Isaac.
double entendre for alcohol
Well,
wizard.
don't tell them that I'm not actually a maid.
All right, so
We're
we're
later.
Cloudhoof down as helmsman.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that's pretty sick. Okay, so now we got captain and quartermaster between Jade and Goldleaf. Goldleaf as a bard probably have the best skill coverage, right?
Yeah, so I think with the bard that just
Mhm.
screams quartermaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Captain Jade.
Can we rename the ship the Gem Cutter?
I mean,
It's
I don't
Captain
think the
Jade.
I don't think the captain minds what you do at this point. He's pretty down and out at this point. It's like
So hear me out.
One horrible thing after that.
I feel like this ship is going to be a place that we'll come to know and love, and will be there a lot. It'll be like a safe haven, right? In the sky. So the ship will literally be a sky haven for us. And I think we should name the ship Sky Haven.
What?
I almost
That's
fell
not
out of my
bad.
chair right now. That's pretty fucking clever. That's pretty fucking clever. Because technically nothing in the campaign is actually named Skyhaven. It's just what I named the campaign project. So, wow, that's pretty sick. Dang.
Hell yeah.
Okay, should I change the name of the ship then?
We are gonna rechristen the ship upon its restoration
The
Nice.
Sky.
as the Skyhaven.
It's the whole Odysseus thing. We replaced all the parts, so this essentially is a new ship.
Yeah, the ship of Theseus.
Well, the most expensive part of an airship is the frame. So that's why, if the Aether Guard had come, they would have towed the whole thing back.
And them jerks said it wasn't worth the rope.
All right, so is it Captain Jade or Captain Goldleaf? You know how
I
they
think
settled.
Captain
You know how they
Jade.
settled. You know how they settled this in another campaign.
Whichever one of you has a head remaining.
It worked
Going
out.
to the door.
All right.
Really
Of
intentional.
all of the core skills that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, I only have 5 that are above 5.
Bro, are sorcerers like the equivalent to 5e druids when it comes to skills? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, how do you...
I
mean,
don't even think this is fair. I
Goldleaf,
feel like
I'm saying mechanically, you're definitely the best fit for quartermaster. But if you want to push roleplay wise, it's understandable.
I am fine with whatever Goldleaf doesn't want.
Okay, a lot of pressure on you, Goldleaf.
Thanks.
But I will fight you for Captain just because Captain Jade sounds cool. But at the same time, also don't care.
I mean, Nathan just wants to go with what's best mechanically. But...
now he's talking Pathfinder.
Yep, now you're a Pathfinder kid. So you did say that we can use other abilities, not just the ones that are listed here, right?
Correct. If the ability would be appropriate, you could definitely use it. You know what I'm saying? But like, given that a hex is like 150 feet, give or take, like, there's very few like spells that you'll be lobbing at other ships. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I'm not talking
unless you
about
guys
spells.
are-
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
talking about
But
like
yeah, singing your bard song, for
Yeah.
example. Like, you could be standing in a place on the ship that would hit everybody on the ship, kind of deal. Like, yeah. So there are bennies there, and there are going to be effects during fights where the characters take damage, not just the ship. And so, like, switching modes to like first aid and magical heals and stuff like that will come into play during these ship battles. And then how this would work if this group had less players is the extra roles would be filled by the NPCs that you choose to put in those positions. Like, if I were to like take this all the way to like, you know, third party publishers or whatever, like, but it just seems like so much work. I like doing homebrew just for my groups and then throwing it in the trash afterwards. Like sandcastles at the beach.
Now,
sorry,
I'm
just
pretty
reading
sure
the
in
notes,
Skull and
but-
Shackles, we ended up instituting a morale officer.
Mm.
Also,
That's also the quartermaster's job. The quartermaster is like the assistant manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, they basically do all the real work. Like, they keep the whole place running. The quartermaster is also called the bosun sometimes,
Yeah.
or the first
or the
mate,
boat swain if you say it wrong.
or the boat swain. Yeah.
I did it one time, okay?
It's okay. I've been running tabletop games that feature boats for 8 years now, and I don't know. I would not be able to tell you the different parts of the boat to save my family's life. Like, if I was in a saw situation, and they were like, "Tell me all the parts of the boat," I'd be like, "I'm so sorry." Like, I guess this is it.
My dad has literally been working on like 1,000-foot steamships since before I was born, and I still couldn't tell you all the parts of the boat, and that's all he fucking talks about anytime I see him.
Yeah, my dad's a retired naval commander, so I've been on some boats, and I get it. I have no idea.
Right?
like,
I have pictures of myself
this is the
on this
nose.
giant ass boat
Yeah,
when
the
it's
nose.
unloading like shit, and I still don't know anything about the boat.
This is the ass of the ship. Here's the left-hand side. Here's the right-hand side. When we're playing Sea of Thieves, you get kind of excited. You get into pirate mode. You start talking like a pirate, and then you want to call out the different parts of the ship, and you remember that you can't remember the names of the ship. It's like, yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling.
I do remember that port is left and starboard is right, because port is a shorter lettered word than starboard, and
Oh,
left is a shorter lettered
shit.
word than right.
Damn. That's pretty good. I hope
You're
I
welcome.
remember that. I hope I
Yeah, that's
remember
the only way I ever remember them too.
that. Dang. That's kind of like when Matt Mercer taught me stalactite, hang tight to the ceiling. Stalagmite might reach the ceiling someday.
I thought that was Kyle.
Was it Kyle that did that? I thought Matt Mercer
It was
taught
Kyle,
me.
yeah.
Oh, was it Kyle? Okay.
Mm-hmm,
Who taught
yeah.
Matt Mercer that? Because he was messing him up for a long time.
I
There's
always
also
thought
Kyle.
it was.
Oh,
I
it
always
was
thought
Kyle.
it was
Also, damn.
stalagmite. I always thought it was stalagmite, like might fall from the ceiling, and stalactite, it's tight up against the ground. That's what I always knew since I was like
Oh
a
my
little
God,
kid. That's
no,
what
that
somebody
is
taught
that
me.
is
And
so wrong.
yeah, it's the
Yeah, it's
opposite.
the opposite, yeah. Yeah, it made me remember
Grew up
it.
in a
Because I
lab
remember.
You're gonna get
of-
killed by
of
a
heart.
piercer. You're gonna get killed by a piercer with that knowledge. You don't want that.
I
know
just
better
remember
now.
Kyle saying it in my garage, and I remember you being like, "That's a really good way to remember it." Like,
Was
and it
during
stuck
the
with me.
kobold the goblin kobold
No,
adventure type thing
it-
that we ran?
It was during the time adventure
Oh, that was good.
in Paradise Vale.
That
Yeah.
was really good. Okay. Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna tell me who I'm putting for captain. What name am I
Yeah, just
writing?
throw me down too. Throw
What?
me down too.
Aren't you the ship mage?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, are you though?
You know,
All
there's
right.
always a shadow
I'm-
captain.
Anybody? I'm gonna put.
The Phipps chumlet of this
Yeah, the
crew.
fifth. I'm night crew.
Captain of the
I
night
call
crew.
captain
Alright.
just because it better fits my character. I
Yeah.
have
All
great
right.
diplomacy and intimidation, and that's that's
I al-
what captain is.
I also feel like you're gonna stop us from being incredibly evil. So
Aw,
That's
thanks.
true. That's true.
Moral compass.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Gold leaf.
Go for it.
Like every bard before you, you've been made the quartermaster.
not everyone.
You put the
Gold
guy
Leaf,
who.
it's seriously up to you. If you want to be captain, go for it. I'm fine with
For
whatever you
now.
don't pick. I just know that my skills are better suited for captain. But it's up to you. I don't care.
Yeah, I was looking at my stuff on Pathfinder to see how some of this will be fitting in. No, it's fine.
Okay.
I just find it funny that the person in charge of supplies and stuff is the person who doesn't eat.
That what?
the quartermaster, the one who's in charge of supplies and other things, the person who doesn't eat or really need
doesn't
much of
eat.
it.
Oh, it's the one that doesn't. That makes you even better for it.
Well, I mean, remember the quartermaster being in charge of supplies. Again, this is like.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
Yeah. Like they're the morale officer, they're the food officer. Like if the captain's too drunk or angry, the quartermaster has to do the captain's job for him. If the engineer gets killed, they got to fill in for the engineer. I mean, they really are like the glue that keeps everything together. All right, now that you have that sorted, if Isaac is good at Arcana and Occultism, is that what you said? Probably want to pick out a mage item that kind of bennies from that.
Yeah.
I think if they're not tagged, you can use anything. So, all right. So you got some ship mage augments here. The Aether Ripple is arcane. Okay. And then it gives you the one action, expend a rune token. The ship emits a pulse of raw arcane energy. All crew gain a +1 status bonus to will saves until the start of your next turn. If 3 rune tokens were held, the bonus is +2. I mean, that's pretty good because there are like fear effects and confusion effects and things like that that can happen during a ship battle. It's a little situational at this juncture. Elemental Veil. I feel like that would have the
No pulse shell looks cool.
I kind of already have the
That's the
Aether
ninth one.
Ripple from my Courageous Anthem.
That's true. Okay. So I think Elemental Veil would be Primal and Arcane. So choose Fire, Cold, Electricity when installing this augment. Reaction once per encounter. When the ship would take damage of the chosen type, roll Arcana versus DC. Reduce the damage by 5 plus your level. critical success, double the reduction. I'm pretty cool. It's only once per encounter though, but still, that could be pretty big. And a DC 16 is pretty easy to pass as you scale up in level. Wow, that's pretty good. Leyline trim. Ship magical speed common. As long as the ship moves at least 4 hexes on its turn, it gets +1 item bonus to reflex saves. Oh, it's passive. Like, you don't actually have to do anything. Oh, I mean, that's still pretty good. Alright. Arc Mirror Pulse. Once per battle, when the ship succeeds on reflex save, spend 1 rune token to reflect a portion of the attack. The attacker takes force damage. I mean, as an alchemist, you could be like making drugs. I know this sounds crazy. Making drugs and mutagens and stuff for everyone to boost their skills so that they do better on their checks. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually kind of a good fit for ship maintenance.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because even without an augment on the ship that you could use on the regular, you have so much utility baked in. Yeah. Deep coil glyph cage. Glyph suppression 2 actions. Target 1 augment of any ship in range that was activated this round. Roll Arcana versus on a success that augment is suppressed. Oh wow. I think it would actually be versus the ship's DC though. Oh, there we go. On a success that augment is suppressed next round and can't be reused. Man, that's pretty good. Gotta get close to the other ship though. By that point, you're playing a dangerous game.
I mean, we do have robot arms to get us close to their ship.
That's true. If you're gonna lean into being a grappler ship anyways, you might want to do stuff that has a closer range. Yeah. Fine.
I think the null pulse shell looks fantastic. But that's number 9.
Oh, is it? Let's go down there. Null Pulse Shell is a level 3 item. Dispel or suppress all magical augments in a 2 hex radius burst. That's like yours awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah, it could be bad.
But if your only
Well, just if we don't pick,
if your only magical augment is that, then who cares? You just basically
we shut them down and then
shutting down magical opponents. Yeah. Damn, that's actually pretty sick. And there's no check; it just happens. Dispel or suppress.
Well, no, it's you have to roll Arcana.
Oh, Arcana against the ship's highest augment DC. Okay. Wow.
But that's a ranged
cool.
burst. It's within 6 hexes.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't necessarily affect your ship.
Yeah.
You can launch it. Oh damn, dude, that is really good.
So I think what we should do first is we should decide which other level 3 augment we have, right? Because the twin thing is a level 3 augment.
Yeah. So.
And so we should pick, if we can have 2 level 3 augments, we should pick what. We should look at all the level 3s and then pick which one other level 3 we want, and then we can do the same thing with level 2s.
The Stormwell Array sounds good, but it doesn't kick in until your 3rd round. Like, you'd have to be 3 rounds in before that starts doing what it needs to do. But +1 damage per die could be pretty huge when you fire off an array. I don't know. Alright, what are your other level 3 ones? Ooze Fused Carapace. This is an armor thing. The ship heals 2 hit points per round, but only if it has taken damage that round. Oh, that's kind of neat. Can suppress 1 condition affliction per encounter, but it has to be triggered by your engineer. Then you should probably have the engineer trait.
I mean, if we want to fully lean into the whole ooze thing, there's the spore thing too, which gives us repair materials. Where was that?
Oh shit! Hydroforged alloy plating, signature
Yeah, that's what I was
epic
looking
metal. Damn.
+1 item
+1
bonus
item
to
bonus to AC, +1 status. reduces critical hit damage, interacts positively with Clockwork Engineer and Fortified Tag augments. Oh wow!
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow! +2 to checks. Wow, that's pretty good.
That's only because we've done the hydrofoil stuff.
Yeah, pretty good.
I feel like we should probably pick that one up. Only fitting because we did the Hydroforge stuff.
You want that to be our armor?
Yeah.
I feel like we
I
need
like the idea of like having location-specific augments
Yeah.
too.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
too.
I think that's cool.
And remember, this stuff can be taken off and just put into like your cargo bay or whatever, and then if you decide later like to put it back on, you could do it.
Well, it'd have to be from downtime, because we have a Corsair, right? Yeah.
Corsair, yeah. So it's the merchant and the sloop both have the ability to kind of change out like
On daily.
mid
Yeah.
journey. Yeah. And the merchant's level 18 ability is called Undocumented Sale. And so basically you're just like, oh yeah, so we actually sold this thing and we bought this thing instead, we just didn't tell you about it. And so in addition to being just able to swap out your augment, you get to just have an augment that you didn't have yesterday. As long as it's a common augment that you've heard about, you can trade it for a common augment of equal value that you have on you.
So if we, I'm not saying we need this right away, but the spore-fed growth vat, category quality of life, traits, alchemic, growth, healing, common, crew tag engineer, grants emergency biomass, 2 actions once per day.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, nice. One bulk of usable repair material instantly. That's pretty cool. And that one's only one,
That's only one, yeah.
yeah.
That's a 1 slot.
It's one of those things, we don't necessarily need it right away, but that's something to keep in mind.
I think everything except the crane arms is 1 slot in this document.
Who makes the grab and lock check for the Twin Claw docking rig?
Let me check. It is engineer, so the engineer would be doing it.
Okay. So I was hoping so, because it was a crafting check.
Yeah, those things with the blue dot and the blue swirly, those become your additional actions that you could do during ship battle. So you would actually get reel and rip and grab and lock. You could slot both of them if you wanted to.
Nice.
All right, so
Slick name. Dang.
yeah, the harness. We want the. Are we in agreement that we want the armor, the Hydroforge armor?
And that would be your other level 3 item.
Yeah. The harness and the Hydroforge armor.
Okay.
Are we in agreement on that one?
It sounded like more yeses than nos. So.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. This also helps me with my prep list, because when I build the airship, now I know exactly what I should be building to go on the airship.
All right, so now we need 2 level 2s and then 2 level 1s.
No, they don't have to be level 2s if we want to go with all level 1s if they're
True,
more
true.
utility based.
Yeah, you could, for sure.
That's always something to keep in mind. It's one of those things, just because there are higher levels available doesn't necessarily mean you want to use those.
So there's a level 1 that's called the Soul Steel Relay Coil, and the effect is when using an assist reaction, the captain may choose 2 crew to receive the aid bonus, and I can use it once per round. And it's just level 1.
I think that one's probably a definitely include.
That's an efficiency thing for sure.
All right.
It's also the only thing in all of this, I think, that had a captain tag. And at first I thought there was nothing, and I was like, okay, I'm down for whatever you guys want. You spec out this ship however your little hearts desire. And I was like, oh wait, there's a captain tag here. I want to feel included.
All right. So then we've got. You still need a gun, probably.
Yeah,
maybe
we should
do the level 2 ooze cannon.
Yeah.
That could be cool. Yeah.
So slime cannon Mark II adhesive injector.
And then we need to pick a ship mage once that Isaac has something to do, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
oh my god, it can slow the other ship even if it doesn't get through their damage threshold. That's pretty fucking good.
I could also just be making mutagens and then like giving out the potions.
True.
Like so in like
I think maybe we should just do the deep coil glyph cage one, the one where you can suppress a glyph.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
Okay. All right. Deep coil glyph cage.
At some point, I want the floatstone drift veins. That's just because it's a helmsman tag.
Helmsman has so much they have to do.
Its job has to do, yeah.
Yeah. Like with
that one's a passive.
Just,
that's nice.
Yeah, just steering the ship.
Ignores difficult terrain. Yeah.
Ooh, that is pretty fucking good. All right.
Now it says passive ignores difficult terrain this round. Does that mean it's only once per?
Yeah. It looks like it's whenever you use surge forward or pilot.
Oh, okay.
You can ignore difficult terrain.
Okay.
Right,
Nice.
so that's level 2. And the cannon's level 2. So you have one more level 1. Is that what you're going to take? Is that a level 1 thing? The difficult terrain one?
Yeah. What about, I thought you wanted the sky scale. That's a level 1. That's when there's a targeted by an AoE.
Oh, the sky scale ailerons?
Oh, the ailerons.
Ailerons. Grants stall reaction.
Helmsman. How's your piloting lore?
Piloting is
6, I think.
+6, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's
and that's like a passive one too. It's just whenever we get targeted, so you don't have to use an action to do it or anything.
It's reaction to do it though.
Yeah.
So it would still slot into one of those things as like the, you're putting that reaction into that 4th spot, like Pokemon stuff.
Right.
All right, sweet. That takes us to the end of the session then, where you have your ship designed. We'll do some RP of, singing that song from Mulan or whatever, about becoming a man, getting your ship together or whatever, and then I guess you'll set out with your newly named, defined, and equipped ship.
Can we say this takes about a week, so that I can
about a week,
so that I can designate this as a signature vehicle?
Oh, very nice. Yes, absolutely. It will definitely take a week.
Perfect.
All right, sweet. Then we are done for the night, and I have to go make muffins now.
Oh, so I can designate it as our signature vehicle, and it gets all of our pilot checks get a +1 circumstance bonus.
Oh shit.
And then when I become a master in crafting, it increases to them being a +2 bonus. Just
Nice.
like always.
On a side note, if you guys ever get the chance, the mythical meats jerky is fantastic. They sell them at the local game store here. And that's been my snack this evening. They're surprisingly good.
I watched a review of those, and that's what the verdict was there too. Is that they were really good.
They're moist. That's just rare for jerky. Usually
A
you get it. It's
moist
kind of
meat
dry.
stick. Hell yeah.
Stick.
I don't like dry meat in my mouth. It has to be the moistest.
That meat's gotta be moist.
All right. On that note, there is a podcast tomorrow night. Me and Dom are gonna talk about pop culture in games. Apparently,
Ooh.
someone on the server is running some kind of Lion King side quest, and it's kind of jumped the shark on the amount of pop culture. And this is like back to back with the Breath of the Wild side quest. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about pop culture in games.
Or any game that has Orpheus running.
Yeah, right. Like, when is it too much? Like, is it ever too much?
I think you guys had that topic before, and I think Orpheus was a guest on that topic.
Orpheus was a guest. He talked about his Power Rangers at the end of Wild Beyond the Witchlight and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna revisit the topic. I guess we're gonna revisit the topic. And then Saturday I'm gonna do a stream about the Japan trip and talk about. I think I'm just gonna dive into day 1 and 2, maybe talk about what happened then. It was an incredible trip. So if you're curious about how it went and how I navigated with only 20 words of Japanese, and how I planned such an outrageously cool trip with ADHD and dyslexia, I got all them spoilers for how that was pulled off and how. Sunday we got Kingmaker. Monday we got Stolen Fate. Tuesday, my Curse of Straw group will continue to end the campaign, and then there'll also be Strength of Thousands. Wednesday, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Thursday we'll be back here. Anybody have any announcements before we adjourn?
You guys are awesome. Thank you for being awesome.
Aw. It is nice. I do look forward to Thursdays. So you guys are really good about leaning into this this homebrew world. So yeah. All right.
Don't worry, we're not Pathfinder kids yet. We won't be tearing it apart.
Aw. Well, I'm off to make muffins. So talk to you guys later.
Good luck.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for running, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Good night.
Hey.